Executives View, the sports podcast where the stakes are high and the debates are fierce. Please welcome your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, alongside co-host Barry DeVille Jordan. Each week, we bring you into the boardroom where the elite minds of sports converge. From the gridiron strategies to the business behind the ball, we tackle the hard-hitting questions and give you an insider's perspective. So pull up a chair and join us at the table where champions are made and legends are born. This is the Executives View. Let's get down to business.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Executives View. I'm your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, and this is the view from on top, man. You could be anywhere in the world. Back on a Tuesday night, man. We back on a regular scheduled Tuesday night, and I do appreciate that, man. You guys know how I get down. If you see the show, share the show. We're all over the place. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Spotify. We're doing big things in big places, and definitely want to take everybody along for the journey. I got a full house, man. All the executives is back from their holidays and their vacations and trips to the doctor. Everybody's back in the building, man. I'm so happy to see everybody's faces, man. I don't do this by myself, man. Barry is back in the building, man. I feel like we've been chopping it up a lot, my guy, man. How we doing, sir?
Villain, I'm doing much better. Last week was hellacious, man. I was sick pretty much all week, spending New Year's in bed with my sick wife. So it was a trip, but everybody feel me with no hands. We back in the building. It's good to see everybody. I miss you, Unc. I love you, Unc. I love you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to have you back in the building. I got Unc in the building, man. CK is back, man. Good to see you, sir. How we doing, my man?
I'm tired, man. I'm still tired. But you know, Barry, listen, man, keep your marital business, bro. We don't need to know what you was doing in bed with your wife on New Year's, all right?
You know what, dude? You know what I was doing, Unc? I was like this.
I don't listen. We don't need to know. All right. All I know
This is a family show. This is a family show. We all married.
Exactly. All I need to know though is all these people on here talking about they wrestling, all this, that, and the other. And the only person who answered all the trivia questions was Steve.
I was so busy.
The other two didn't even bother fine. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I was so busy. I saw it like a couple hours ago. And I was like, damn, I would have answered that right away.
Yeah. Anywho, man, speaking of wrestling, I got Coach in the building. What's going on, my guy? How we doing?
What's going on, guys? I mean, just, we got a lot to talk about, so I ain't going to take it too much of the intro because we got a lot to get to. But, I mean, it's glad to have, the band all back together.
Yeah, man. It feels good to be back in the building. And, our resident, hater, he ain't really a hater, man. Larry, what's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, bro. The only thing that's kind of getting on my nerves is, man, the 1 year that the Rockets are actually winning, man. Cooper Flag gonna be the number one pick, bro. We probably ain't gonna have no chance in all hell. It's like, man, like they just don't want to see the Rockets have a top flight superstar, man. That dude gonna
look, man. Even if the Rockets had the most ping pong balls, they wouldn't win.
They wouldn't win it. It's like, man, it's like, okay, every once in a while you see this generational player coming out. Oh no, we don't want him to go to Houston. No, that's not gonna happen. But I'm good. Other than that, I'm good, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, man, I'm not gonna waste anybody's time. We got a lot to get to, and hopefully I don't keep you guys late on tonight. I normally start, with college, and then parlay that to the NFL. But I'm gonna go in reverse order. We got a college Final Four to break down. We got a Penn State fan and a Texas fan in the building. So I definitely want to give, Coach and myself enough time to kind of talk about those two matchups respectively. Gerard Mayo, Antonio Pierce was fired. Over the past couple days. Gerard Mayo was in his first year coaching the New England Patriots. We all here were shocked that they even gave him the job. But as I did some more thinking and digging, I kind of understand why. I'm gonna say my little soliloquy for last. I got to recover from last night. I did a little preaching here yesterday. If you missed it, go back and listen to it, man. I went off. But with that being said, villain, talk to me, my guy. Gerard Mayo fired after 1 year. How do you feel, my guy?
Like he should have never got the job in the first place. You know, Bill Belichick was what 5-11 his first year. He wasn't on the chopping block. This guy was thrown into an impossible situation in New England. You know, with bereft the talent. You know what I mean? And after 1 year, you don't give a guy a shot to implement his vision. You know, to really, you know, it takes a couple of years to lay down the foundation, to turn over players, to get your guys in, to get it into your scheme and all that stuff. So if you're just going to give these guys, if you're going to give these guys just 1 year, then what was the point? I felt like, I you know, in my mind, it was like they checked the box to hire Gerard Mayo, and like, oh, we did it. Now, you know, look what happened. Now moving on, because that's exactly what happened in Houston, right? With what's his face that was there for 1 year. So and the name escapes me if you guys remember.
David Culley.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's a joke. I don't care what Robert Kraft his reasoning was. It's a joke. I don't care what he says, why he felt sorry about. Give me a break, dude. Antonio Pierce, they're gonna rule the day that they let that guy walk out of the building. I think he's a good coach. I don't think they had a lot. He didn't have a quarterback. They started to bring in a little bit of talent. That team played hard, especially down the stretch. It wasn't that they weren't playing hard. They just weren't as talented, and they're in one of the tougher divisions in football. I mean, that the AFC West and the NFC North are the two toughest divisions, in my opinion. So you just let a really smart, really good coach, a good motivator go, and everybody was like, well, nobody said that about Josh McDaniel when he got. Well, Josh McDaniel had no respect in that locker room, in my opinion. Antonio Pierce had everybody's respect in that locker room, and he's looking for a job. You know, they're gonna rule the day. They let that guy go, in my opinion.
Yeah, so for me, I'll start with the Antonio Pierce thing, and then I'm gonna go to drop Mayo. Then I'm gonna throw this around and let the rest of you guys eat on it. This Antonio Pierce thing really, really, really reeks of Davis. To your point, villain, it takes a very, very, very special kind of talent to go into a situation where you are void of talent, where you are void of a quarterback, where you are void of anything that resembles a professional football outfit, and then come out and put together a team that plays inspired and motivated football. That's what Antonio Pierce did for 2 years in a row. He dealt with the Devontae Adams thing. He dealt with the Derek Carr thing. He dealt with it all, and he still had the brass to have the people around him rally and say, you know what, I'm not going to tank for a draft pick. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to coach football and let the chips fall where they may. I saw a TikTok from Adriana, a friend of the program, New York Giants fangirl. She is hoping and praying that the Giants bring him back home.
Same here.
And I don't want that for him, because he has shown over the course of the past 2 seasons that he is head coach worthy. I remember back to when Mike Tomlin was interviewed about bringing in Brian Flores, and he didn't even really approach him about an assistant type of role because he is qualified to be a head coach. And to approach somebody who's qualified to be a head coach for an assistant role is somewhat a slap in the face. Now, if all the jobs dry up and he doesn't, land a head coaching role, then obviously, you want this guy's mind, you want this guy's expertise, you want this guy's skill set in your building on your sideline with your program. But I am disgusted with this hire. I mean, this firing. Gerard Mayo, he was a fall guy. This was a setup all the way around. I feel as though the New England Patriots had no desire to have this guy be the long term solution. I feel as though they wanted a Mike Vrabel, they wanted Rex Ryan, a McDaniels, or something along those lines, and they had to appease the fans by hiring a guy who is well liked, a guy who is quote unquote off the Belichick tree to kind of bridge gap them through until they could release him and fire him for no fault of his own. They never really solidified a wide receiver. They never put an offensive lineman around him. You was going into your 2024 campaign with Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson as your backfield. You didn't even trust you didn't even trust Drake May at the beginning. You trotted out Jacoby Brissett, let him play the first couple games, get his head smacked around before you put in the rookie. The rookie showed what he was able to do, and then all of a sudden they'll start winning some games, and then you pull the plug. Then you pull the plug. You know what I'm saying? And you throw in a whole other guy to finish that last little bit against Buffalo, and then you fire this man. If I'm a Patriots fan, I'm disgusted. If I'm a Patriots fan, I'm angry, I'm annoyed. I don't know, and again, I can't say that Gerard Mayo is head coach material, as like I could say about Antonio Pierce, because he was really never given the opportunity to be a head coach. He was a clipboard holder until somebody bigger and better came around or made themselves available. The New England Patriots had to move quickly to get somebody to fill that seat after Bill Belichick left, because at the time Vrabel wasn't available, and the other hot names that they may have wanted wasn't available. So you got somebody in there to fill that void. I am annoyed. This all reeks of, I'm gonna call it like it is. This all reeks of nepotism. This all reeks of, I don't know, say flat out racism. Because I struggle to pull that card, but Gerard Mayo was set up to fail. The Kraft family screwed this man from the moment go. I don't care what was put out by the Kraft family and the Patriots. You never get this man a shot. And now he's out looking for a job because you screwed him up. Larry, talk to me, my guy, man. How you feel, man? Gerard Mayo, Antonio Pierce. I'm kind of looping these guys together. If you want to, talk about any other firings or whatever the case may be that has came down as of right now, man, talk. Get them when you fit in, my man.
Man, I'll keep it to coaches for right now. We can talk about the rest later. But I'm gonna say this: have y'all ever noticed the pattern in the NFL? Fuck the black man over. Had a black man take all the L's as we could possibly give him on his resume while we doing a quote unquote rebuild. Because technically, when you're doing a rebuild, your coaches get what, 3, 4, maybe 5 years doing the rebuild, right? No, you get a black man 1 year. When they did it with David Cutcliffe, they did it with the guy who came in after him. I forgot, but they constantly do this with the black coaches and say, "Oh, we gave him a chance." No, you gave him a chance to mount all these L's while you rebuilded. But if you notice, a lot of times when you see these quote unquote black coaches who get the opportunity, when they get the opportunity, you know what happens? These teams play hard. These teams play good. Like, dude, real talk, Drake May looks good.
He did.
And who's the coach? He looks so damn good. They put in Joe Milton, and they getting calls for people that want to trade for Joe Milton. So if you're a bad coach, how in the hell are you getting calls for your backup quarterback?
Your backup to the backup.
And if anybody watched the Patriots this year, that defense, because that's what Mayo came through. He came up through the defensive rank. The defense kept them in a lot of games. The problem with that team is they don't have the outside weapons to go with the running game and the quarterback that they have now. That's the reason that's the reason why Tom Brady left. Because Tom Brady was like, hey, we don't have no weapons over here. Bill Belichick was not winning all these games because he did not have any weapons. He built that team, right? Kind of like Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce, that everybody knew when he took over, that was a rebuild. That was a rebuild. And you missed out on a quarterback in the draft. Bowers is looking like an absolute monster, like a steal in the draft. And he's playing with the quote unquote supposedly starter was going to be Gardner Minshew, but he's playing with all these rotating quarterbacks. That dude's looking like he's going to be the steal of the draft. And then what happens? We're gonna let the black guys go. We're gonna do the rebuild. And then once the rebuild come in, it's like, oh my God, the guy that we got now, he's the savior. He came to save the franchise when he didn't got all of the tools that he needed. You didn't did what you need to do. And now it's like, oh, whatever the black coach did was bullshit. And he wasn't a good leader. And I get it. Mayo did put his foot in his mouth a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you watch the team was playing good. Them dudes in I'm gonna say Vegas, them dudes will run through a brick wall for fucking. They really they play hard for him, and I don't think he's gonna end up being another head coach. I think he's gonna be a somebody's gonna offer him to be the D coordinator / assistant head coach, and that's not really a slap in the face to him because we all know how they do with black head coach. Once you fired, they'll retreat a white coach all day long, but when it comes to black coaches, that may be your only opportunity ever to coach, and that's the part that kind of pissed me off. And I'm gonna pass the buck when I say this. If you look at some of these coaches, right, even when you look at the OJ, the Mayo, and you look at Gerard Mayo, but you look at Gerard Mayo and you look at the Antonio Pierce, right? And Barry, I'm not going to strike a nerve, but if you look at going into the last 2 weeks of the season, what kept happening with that first pick? It kept switching hands. It was like possible Raiders, possible New England. Remember, we kept going back and forth, Barry, about New England having it, right? They win some games, and now they don't have the first pick. So guess who takes the blame for that?
The coach.
The black coach.
The coach.
Guess who don't take the blame for losing that first pick? Bears Giants. And I'm gonna pass that over.
You know what? Before we throw this to the coach, because I'm gonna have you go next, coach. I find it oddly ironic that, and again, I'm gonna double click on what you said. The past 2.5, 3 weeks of the season, it was literally a round robin of who was gonna get that first pick, and it was like hot potato. You take it, no, 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 you take it. Giants fans lost their ever-loving mind. We got one sitting here when they beat the Colts and went from 1 to 4. They lost their ever-loving mind. End of the season comes around. Joe Shane, Brian Dable will be back for 2024. Okay. Cool. The New England Patriots lose the number 1 pick. They won a ball game. They go from 1 to 3. Gerard Mayo's fired. The Raiders win a ball game. They go from 3 to, I forget where they're at now.
I think they're 7.
Yeah,
7.
Yeah.
But if they would have kept losing, they might have ended up with the first pick.
Correct. But
yeah, but I mean, are we sure that Mayo lost his job because they won games?
Dude,
I honestly believe
is that the accusation right now?
Wait, so you know what, Barry? Well, I'm gonna go with that. So think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
These owners, they have say in these draft picks too, right?
Sure.
And I get it. New England, you got Drake May, but what do you want? You want weapons for him. Who's the number 1 weapon coming out?
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. Yeah.
You fall that far, you're not getting Travis Hunter. No. If you are the Raiders, we all been hearing it all season long. The Raiders are starving for a quarterback. If you end up let me say top 3. You might end up with Ward or Sanders. Somebody's gonna take Hunter in between. But you end up at 6 or 7, you might miss out on both.
Yeah, you answered on both. Yeah.
Yeah. So now that owner's probably pissed because he already had in his mind, I'm gonna get one of these top quarterbacks coming out, and that's what's gonna fix my franchise. And now you're gonna need to
The
have to
Raiders
give
are
up
6.
draft.
The Raiders are 6 right now.
You got to give up some draft capital to move up, or you're gonna be left holding. You know what?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask. They tried it in Miami or what have you, but you cannot ask a coach or a team to tank. Teams don't tank.
Well, see, hold on a
players
second.
don't tank.
That's what I fear. And again, I'm gonna let Coach and I'll go here in a minute. But that's what I honestly fear happened in New England. Because before the ball was kicked off on Sunday, the New England Patriots had the number 1 draft pick. They go out there. They go out there with their 3rd string quarterback, because if you listen to what my man said, he didn't know he was starting until he got to the stadium that day. He had no idea he was starting. So he gets to the stadium, running scout team, the whole 9, whatever they do in practice all week. They get to the stadium. It's the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are, resting or not playing anybody if they're locked to the 2 seed. This is a prime time game for you to just pack it up and roll in. Gerard Mayo was like, no, F that. We're going to play football. And he lost them the number 1 pick, and they fell all the way down to the number 4 pick. This really feels like a Brian Flores situation reincarnated, because if you think back to what Brian Flores was fired for back in Miami, it was the same damn thing.
But I felt like he was fired before that game started. You know what I mean?
Mayo or Flores?
Mayo. And I want everybody else to go, but I feel like that's why I'm saying he should have never been hired. And Larry's right. Like, they wanted Vrabel, and they couldn't get him.
Right.
That's how I felt like it was. But I want Coach to coach.
Coach, talk to me, my man. I mean, you hear what's going on between 3 of us, man. But I definitely want you and Unc to get in on the conversation, man. Where's your head at, sir?
All right, so I'm gonna make this quick because I think we losing Unc. He's fading. I will say this. Gerard Mayo, he was a bridge coach. And I mean, it's plain and simple. I'm going to focus more so on organizational wants and needs and stuff like that, like the Giants. The Giants ownership, I mean, the Morrows, they're old money. So it's like they can slow play this a little bit longer. They can, like, you know what, we're going to give, Brian, we're going to give Shane, we're going to give them another shot at it. We're going to let them get their guys. With Kraft, look, the only owner that's more powerful in football is Jerry Jones with Kraft. So I do believe that Kraft is probably not on the up and up, because like you guys remember to the press conference. The press conference was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. Like, he didn't know how to pronounce Gerard Mayo's brother's name. It was just all this kind of stuff. It's like, oh, we're this one big family, and it just all seemed like kind of like he's the bridge coach. We will, because when you guys talked about it earlier, it's the Patriots probably had the least amount of talent on offense of any team in the NFL. Because you look at these other teams, that aren't good, that are at the top of the draft, you can see, like with the Raiders, Brock Bowers is going to be legit. Even with the Panthers, like Bryce Young put it together after he was kind of putting time out a little bit. And, and then they have Chuba Hubbard and stuff like that. So, like, these teams who are at the top of the draft, they can look and they can shine a spotlight on some certain things. The Patriots couldn't do that. And it almost feels like it was done purposely, where it was like, okay, here you go, Gerard. It's like, just go out here and make it happen with Drake May, and make it happen with, Jacoby Brissett, figure it out. No knock on Ramondre Stevenson, but it's like, again, this is what you have to deal with. Whereas, like, the other teams, even like the Giants, you have talent in spots. So, like, with the Patriots, they had no talent. And it's the same thing out in Vegas, where it's like Pierce, like, so this is what you give him. You give him Gardner Minshew, you give him Aiden O'Connell, and you expect him to. But it's like, again, we talked about this with the Giants because people on this show were like, oh, the Giants are giving up. I'm like, look, no, the Giants went out there and they played hard every week, and I think that means something to these owners and stuff like that. Well, they were going out there and they were playing their ass off. They weren't winning football games, but they were playing their ass off. So you look like out in Vegas, where it's like those guys were willing to run through a brick wall for Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
But let's think about the offseason. Pierce was not Davis's first pick. It was almost like bullied into like, come on, Mark, come on, do it. And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Harbaugh,
good point.
Harbaugh and these, So, but then it was almost like he kind of got goaded into like, it's almost like he was like, all right, damn, I will hire Antonio Pierce.
It was that win against the Chiefs. It was that win against the Chiefs.
And
you can't fire him. You got to bring him in.
Yeah.
So
Pierce forced him to keep him. Pierce forced him to keep him, right? Because I look at it like, remember when Martin on the show, Martin first proposed to Gina, like, all right, damn, I will marry you. You happy? It felt like that because it's like all the fans knew like this team played hard for Pierce last year, and you would be a fool to let him go, because if you let him go, there'll be a line of teams out there that would interview him and pick him up. So it was like, all right, fine, we'll keep him. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, but even with that, it's like Mark Davis was still very non-committal until they still did interviews. They still tried to bring in other people. It was still like, it's just Pierce wasn't the guy. He never was the guy. He kept him like you said, because of like the way you end that season, you give him one more shot, but then it's like, okay, we're giving him a shot, but then are we really giving him a shot? Because look what we're giving him. So Mark Davis will get whatever coach he wants and deserves, to be quite honest. So like, because Antonio Pierce is going to be great wherever he ends up next. I do want to say now, it's not automatically over for the black coach, okay? Because we look at Todd Bowles. Who would have thought Todd Bowles would get another job after how things ended in New York? He's down in Tampa. Playoff team. Him and his team will be playing the Commanders this weekend. Raheem Morris. The Falcons, like, they had some rough seas they had to get through, but he rallied the troops. Again, I'm not a big Morris fan because I think he's self-important. I think he's smart. He always thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. But he's a good football coach. But again, Raheem Morris, how things ended in Tampa. Who would have thought he would have got another job? So some of these black coaches, will get other shots, but it's almost like it takes a while. They have to kind of, like, as Larry said, they got to take like the assistant linebacker quality control. Because these coaches like Vrabel will never take another coordinator job. He's just going to become a head coach somewhere else.
Well, Vrabel was again, I don't want to cut you off. Vrabel was like an assistant to the defense, assistant to the head coach this past year for the Cleveland Browns.
All that means is just he's in the building, hanging out, like drinking coffee, like shooting shit with the boys. That's all that means. He's not actually on the staff. That's just like, I remember seeing Steve Spurrier. He was just hanging out down in Florida around Gainesville. He wasn't on the staff. They gave him a made up title, but he wasn't. He was just hanging out. Just like, hey Mike. It's basically like, hey Mike, what do you think about this? Whatever. So but what I'm saying is, like, again, like with the Patriots, it's like they look. I posted it in the group chat. Congratulations on Mike Vrabel being the new head coach of the New England Patriots, because that's what they wanted, but the timeline didn't work. So then now they're going to get the coach that they want. So they're going to get Vrabel, and then Kraft can still sit up there and be like, oh, well, it's all about family, and we're bringing Mike home and stuff, and the same bullshit that he spit with the Mayo stuff. But he'll give Vrabel a little bit more grace and a little bit more leeway. And to Pierce out in Vegas, like I said, some team's going to get a really good coach, because I would love to see this guy with a talented roster. It's like much to Larry's point, it's like you give these guys, you set these guys up to fail, and it's like, okay, here you go. Here is this team. And it's like, you expect me to win 10, 11 games with Aiden O'Connell, with Gardner Minshew, with with Jacoby Brissett.
You know where I would like to see Antonio Pierce going? You guys are gonna laugh at me. New York Jets.
No.
I want to see him in New York with the Jets.
He would be in the Rex Ryan ilk. It's like he'd have the same kind of, like, he's in the Rex Ryan neighborhood, and obviously if you listen to Rex Ryan, the job's already his anyway. So it's just
I think the Jets need to bring back Rex Ryan, but I would love to see Pierce take a coordinator job for a year and then let a really good situation come to him. Like I don't
I would
want
love to
him
see
in New
Pierce
York.
go somewhere like Cincinnati. Go to Cincinnati, get that defense back together. I know Sirius wouldn't be a big fan of that, but I would love to see him go somewhere like Cincinnati, get that defense together, and then he'll probably definitely get a coaching job next season if he can turn that defense around, or even if he can get that defense to be bad, then he's doing all right.
So what I was gonna say was the thing about the black coaches. When the head coach get fired, like even the Raheem Morrises, the Todd Bowles, like it's almost damn near like you got to start over from the bottom again. Like Todd Bowles was in the bottom for a while before he got, another head coaching job. Or it's kind of like they have to go to where they're on this new hot team. They on the Rams or they on, one of these new hot teams to get that second opportunity. And that's the part that I don't like. It's like, for Antonio Pierce, even, hey, Gerard Mayo, you're going to be like coaching D-line or something next year. But you almost got to like start over from the scratch. And it's like, you can't go somewhere and turn around the defense one year. Like say if Pierce went to Cincinnati and turned that defense around, and it's like, oh yeah, he did it, but he did it with 1 year, and he had Hendrickson, and it's like he got to do it for multiple years for somebody to even give him another opportunity.
Yeah, but I don't want to see him go to like Jacksonville and be the head coach there because
because it's the same thing over again. Because then
right.
That's a fail. That's a bad job. It's a bad job, even though they're going to a new stadium.
Job. That's another bad job. You're right.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I mean. I don't want him to go there because then you got a 2-time quote unquote loser, and that we know that he's not a 2-time loser, so he'll never get a real job again. So that's why I want him to go get wait until the dust settles. By this time, maybe like Vrabel, he went to go be in a glorified cup holder, and now he's got this Patriots time lined up for him. So.
But see, that's the thing that bothers. Again, Chandler, I'm gonna come right to you, I promise. But that's the thing that bothers me so much is that if Antonio Pierce is reduced to going to be a glorified cup holder when he has put the time in and has shown his ability to lead men, like I don't want to say this is Bieniemy all over again because Bieniemy was never given an opportunity to be a head coach. But
Bieniemy doesn't get opportunities for various reasons. So it's not just because he's black. There's other things.
Right. But Antonio Pierce has shown the ability to lead a locker room. He has shown the ability to look at and smile in the face of adversity, to borrow Tomlinism real quick, to smile in the face of adversity and not blink. He was given nothing to work with and made chicken salad out of chicken crap, if you will. And so I don't want to see him have to take that particular role to come over here. Chandler, you've been sitting for a minute, my man. I want you to get in where you fit in. You hear what's going on, man. Where's your head
at? First of all, Antonio Pierce is never going to get a head coaching job again. Not in the NFL. The only place that would ever have hired him, which was the Raiders. Because up until that, no one ever talked about him being a head coach in the NFL. He wasn't even considered head coach material in the NFL. He got a job at he's like Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan can only be a head coach for the Jets. He won't work anywhere else. Antonio Pierce won't work anywhere else. He won't work anywhere else. He'll work in college, but he won't work in the NFL anywhere else because he loves that organization. Period. End of story. The problem I have with this is the fact of the matter is they didn't want Mike Vrabel to wear these losses. They wanted a black coach to wear these losses. Gerard Mayo had left the NFL, was in the business world being very successful, mind you, very successful. And the Patriots talked him out of that world and asked him to come back. And then made a big deal about he was the coach in waiting. For 3 years, you made it known that he was going to replace Bill Belichick. Even when Bill Belichick said, I don't want a coach in waiting, you said, I don't give a damn what you say, Bill Belichick. He's the coach in waiting. You push Belichick out the door. You gave the black coach a terrible roster that at best was a 5-win roster. The roster was a 5-win roster at best. No one wanted that job. No one wanted the damn job. Now suddenly, all I hear today is what a great opportunity the Patriots job is. That's all I hear today. So you're telling me that Gerard Mayo wasn't good. You're telling me that the organization, this coming from Robert Kraft, who now I'm glad you're not in the Hall of Fame, by the way. Okay? With your massage parlor going ass, Robert Kraft. Okay? You talk about how no one wanted the Patriots job last year. And now all I hear is what a great job it is. So let me get this straight. According to Robert Kraft, you're trending in the wrong direction. You didn't like the way the loss was going. The organization heading downhill, according to Robert Kraft. Yet, we saw the growth in Drake May. We saw the growth in Keyshawn Butte, okay, who outside of probably us and his family, no one knows who the hell he is. All right? We saw Ramondre Stevenson, with all of the crap that was going on, be successful as a running back, so as an RB1. You have Ugu gobs of money in salary cap space, but Gerard Mayo somehow failed. He made this opportunity far more enticing than it was last year, but somehow he failed and deserved to be fired. So that you can hire a white coach and then give that white coach all the credit for the foundation that Gerard Mayo. Joe Milton was the third string quarterback all season. We saw him play. Now you say, oh, it was in the game, didn't matter. That's not how you judge a player. You look at how he moves, you look at the things he does. You don't care about the score. You care about how he. Joe Milton looked like a starting quarterback. That's what Gerard Mayo and his staff did for the New England Patriots. Oh, but he said this and he said that. Tell me what rookie quarterback hasn't made mistakes. Bill Parcells made mistakes in his rookie year. Oh, in the Josh McDaniels thing, Josh McDaniels wasn't a rookie quarterback. A rookie coach, I'm sorry. Okay? Josh McDaniels wasn't a rookie coach. That's why he got short shrift. Antonio Pierce, again, all I'm hearing today is how attractive the Raiders' job is now. Well, it wasn't attractive last year because nobody wanted it. And it wasn't attractive when you hired Josh McDaniels because nobody wanted it. So you had to go and get a three-time guy, a guy who quit on an organization, mind you, after he accepted the job. That's who you brought in. And then you fired him, and you gave Antonio Pierce the job. And the GM sabotaged him because Josh Jacobs did not want to leave the Raiders. Antonio Pierce did not want Josh Jacobs to leave. But Tom Telesco, who happens to still be there, funny enough how this works. Funnily enough, Tom Telesco, who let Josh Jacobs and other players, he let 5 players walk out the door who are all on playoff teams right now. And then he didn't want to trade up. He didn't want to pony up the capital required to trade and get Michael Penix. Because the reality was, as y'all said, Mark Davis never wanted Antonio Pierce. But the players said, we ain't playing for nobody else, bro. So you decimated the roster to justify. And again, look at that roster. Tell me how many wins Newt Rockney, Vince Lombardi couldn't have gotten more wins out of that roster than Antonio Pierce got. Okay? So Antonio Pierce is not going to be an NFL head coach again. Neither is Gerard Mayo, by the way. Neither is, and let's be very clear. Shane Steichen, if he was black, would be fired right now. Brian Dable, if he was black, would be fired right now. Dave Canales, who is doing everything he can to not remind you that he's Mexican, okay? He's not even mention his ancestry, okay, until they're ready to sell a fucking jersey. All right? What they can say, Los Panteros, would be fired right now for the way he handled Bryce Young if he was black. And don't even get me started on Rand Carthon. Because according to I forget the guy's name. He's a columnist down there in Carolina. According to an article he wrote today, Rand Carthon was lazy. He didn't put in the extra work. All of the stereotypes that go with being a black athlete or GM, he laid at the feet of Rand Carthon. He was lazy. He didn't know how to do anything. He wasn't inclusive. He only liked the people he liked. It's real easy. It's funny. It's funny how suddenly that these opportunities, and again, now suddenly the Titans, oh wow, that looks like a really good opportunity. Huh?
Yeah, they got the number 1 draft pick.
What? But you just fired the guy and said that he brought no talent into your organization. Okay.
He signed Calvin Ridley and the guy from the Cowboys. He had 1,000 yards.
Signed Ridley, signed Pollard. Got the Titans out of
ownership. He ruined the franchise.
You know,
okay? All right, but he got fired. Matt Nagy is going to get a damn job interview. Matt Nagy is going to get a job interview as a head coach. But Gerard Mayo couldn't get another year. Okay? So miss me with all the other, it's bullshit. What they are doing is there were too many damn black head coaches. They said, no, we got too many of them. We're going to get rid of them. They can't have too many of them now.
Well, we didn't have any before that, right? Like you ain't had any. We complained, and all right, now you got a bunch, and you ain't.
Yeah, you got a bunch, and now we got rid of a bunch, and we got rid of a GM, and now we're gonna go, and now we're gonna bring in all of these guys who don't deserve opportunities. Listen, Rex Ryan, the only job Rex Ryan is even applying for is the Jets job. Okay,
that's the only one
head coach. As a head coach, now he'd be a defense coordinator for anybody, but the only job he's going for a head coach is the Jets. I can respect that. If Jets hire him, fine. Because again, like I said, Rex fits the Jets. That's kind of that. You know what I'm saying? But
they should have never got rid of him.
Miss me with not wanting Mike Vrabel to wear these losses, and now this being a better situation. How is it a better situation and you fired the coach? If the coach made it better, why'd you fire him? Right. You can't have it both fucking ways, man. You can't have it both ways. And this is the racism that goes on in the NFL. And we say, oh, why are you going to make it about race? Oh, and by the way, miss me with the whole race card thing because it's not a game. Racism is not a game. When I don't go to the store and buy a deck of cards and say, hey, what do I do today? Lynching? Oh, freedom ride? Jack of Spades? That's not how this works. This is not a game. These are people's lives that you're destroying and keeping them from fully succeeding. Gerard Mayo will go back to the business world and be very successful. I don't doubt it because he likes to be in the Northeast area. He's never moved his family since he got to the Patriots. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going to do that traveling circus that assistant coaches do. I guarantee you that. Antonio Pierce will probably go back to college.
Chandler, I got breaking news I wanted to bring into the show.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, look. My Niners have just got rid of Sorensen. So, Antonio Pierce, man, if you're listening right now, brother, I got a defense for you that's fully loaded with nothing but talent, bro. Hey, if you're listening to the show, look, hey, I just texted my boy. I told him, I say, man, Antonio Pierce needs to be on the first Smokey to San Francisco. Look, hey, John, let you get him whatever he want on that defense. We need to go back to head hunting, and like he can get assistant head coach. We can give him that Bill Belichick deal. Look,
and
bro,
let me just say one last thing.
You coach whatever you want to do on defense.
Brian Flores is going to get at least 10 interviews. He's not going to get hired because he's suing the NFL.
Mm-hmm. I hope he does.
Aaron Glenn.
I hope he does get a job.
Aaron Glenn will not get a head coaching job this cycle.
But he's the guy. He's the token.
He's the guy. Him and Ben Johnson's the guy. Interesting.
Aaron Glenn's not going to get a job. They're going to say, well, we want him to have more seasoning. but some clown that we've never heard of on somebody's offensive staff because he's related or connected to Sean McVay or Shanahan is going to get a damn job. Watch and see.
Serious, what are the open vacancies right now? Do you have a list of the open vacancies?
Give me a second. I'll pull it.
Yeah, because guys, you guys know the positions, right? You got the Bears, you got the Jaguars, you got the Jets, you got
Patriots.
The Patriots, you got
Raiders.
The Raiders. Do you have the Colts?
No. They kept those two clowns.
All right, so here's what it is: Chicago Bears. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars, New York Jets, New England Patriots, the Saints currently, even though they got a guy in from, and the Raiders right now. So we have 6.
I mean, if you're Aaron Glenn, would you want to go coach any of those teams?
No.
Saints.
No.
So the Saints are going to need a coach. Yeah, Saints.
The Saints.
The Saints are going to need a coach, but they're in cap hell, and you still
cap
have to
doesn't exist for the Saints. They find a way to get out of that so-called cap hell. So it don't. Those are just words for the Saints.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cowboys. Don't be the Cowboys.
No, I want to talk about the Cowboys too.
Well, I mean, didn't the Bears the Bears asked to talk to McCarthy?
Yeah.
And they declined.
So
they declined.
Here's the problem. No. Hold on. Seriously, this is how it happened. They asked to talk to him. And Jerry Jones goes out there. Well, you want to go ahead? Go ahead. Go talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like.
But he didn't give him permission. But he refused to give permission. But he said, "Go talk to him."
No, he refused to give. He didn't refuse to give permission first. He went on this stupid little podcast and said, "You know, you want to go talk? Go talk to him. You know, I don't care. This is, you know, this is the best job. Blah, 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 blah." And then a couple hours later, then he declined it.
Yeah.
So you went out, like, why would you go out there and on the podcast before you even declined it? You could have just declined it and called it a day. Like, you know what I mean? Like Jerry Jones has treated Mike McCarthy like absolute dog crap. Like, and it's not justifiable. Like, you know, I don't feel bad for him, dude. Like, he's a damn good coach. He's in an impossible situation. He should want to leave Dallas. Okay. He should want to leave Dallas. But Jerry Jones didn't give this dude, if you got so much confidence in this dude, why didn't you give him a contract extension last year? Mm-hmm. He didn't do it. Yeah. So if I was him, I'd be like, yeah, let me go talk to somebody that gives a damn about me. Somebody that cares about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing them a favor, treating them like that. Jerry Jones would rather lose. He would rather lose and be in charge than win and not get the credit for it.
That's right.
And I had enough of it. As a Giant fan, I'm happy for it. I'm here for it. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing God's work. You're doing God's work. Keep losing. Keep losing. Because any other GM would be fired by now. But he wants to be he's going to stay the GM because he's Jerry Jones. I didn't buy this team to not run it. I'm going to run it my way. How's that working out for you? Jerry Jones is a clown. I had enough of his act. But as a Giant fan, keep doing God's work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Again, this coaching cycle and this whole situation is going to be interesting, and I'm curious to see how it all unfolds. Right now, since the Cowboys ended up blocking the Mike McCarthy interview with the Chicago Bears, the leader in the clubhouse, to get that particular job, is the old veteran Pete Carroll.
Pete came up out the grave, huh?
He came up out. He got the fountain of youth.
I'm telling you, and I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. The Bears is probably the worst place to go coach, especially as a first-year coach.
Right now, yeah.
Like you need a veteran coach because you're talking about at least 5 years of a Lions team that's here, a Packers team that's good and young, and a Vikings team with a lot of talent. You ain't winning nothing in that division.
Well,
so as a first-year coach, that's the last place I want to go.
And not to mention the infighting that's going on between Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles.
Facts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So you got Kevin Warren undercutting Ryan Poles every time he can. You got Ryan Poles sources. They out there knifing Kevin Warren.
Yeah, you got that, and then your owner's 102 years old. You got that going on. I mean, it's just but see,
they're moving the team out of Chicago, right?
I was gonna say they're moving the team out of Chicago. They're gonna be the Calumet City, wherever they're moving them to, and it's just so. And then here's one thing though, I feel like Pete Carroll would be the perfect guy for all that dysfunction with the Bears. I think he could go in there and look. He's useful. He's exuberant. He's also 78 years old. People forget how old Pete Carroll is.
Yeah.
he's literally one of the oldest coaches in football. But he doesn't present as old as he is. But I don't think Pete Carroll's not going to be there 10 more years. Of course not. But it's for what the Bears need now to set a solid foundation.
Yes.
For Pete Carroll can give them 3 years to kind of hit the reset button, because we talked about this all season with the Bears. The Bears need a culture change.
Yes.
The same way a lot of other teams do. They need a culture, and Pete Carroll would change the culture of the Bears. Pete Carroll changed the culture of the Seahawks. They don't want to give him credit now because things ended kind of messy, but he changed the whole damn culture of the Seahawks.
Yes.
And he can, I think that's what the Bears need. The Bears need somebody to come in there and totally hit the reset button. The same way DeMeco Ryans. He went down to Houston, totally changed the culture of the whole damn team. Yeah. Everybody in the building is moving different because of DeMeco Ryans. And I think that's something that needs to Pete Carroll would bring something to Hallis Hall that they haven't had ever.
Bro, you got Caleb Williams today talking about what he wants in the next head coach. My man, you've been there 5 minutes. Shut the hell up.
I mean, but he's the franchise quarterback. I mean,
he been there 5 minutes. He still can't figure out how to sit on the side and not lean over. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so hurt, bro. Shut up.
But Punter has more yards than he does right now. Shut up.
He doesn't have a say, but he is the franchise, right?
They're giving him a say. That's part of the problem. They're giving him a say. They're giving this young man, this kid.
Well, I think a lot of these dudes have a say. That's the problem.
They're asking his opinion. He's not making the decision.
Exactly. That's the problem. Micah Parsons with his stupid podcast. All these guys with their own voice and their own brand. And you know what I mean? Micah Parsons, I don't want to hear from you until your season's over. I don't want to hear from you during the season. It should be a rule. You should not be on a podcast. The Kelsey brothers have a podcast during the season. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it during the season. It's almost as bad as Jerry Jones having his own podcast.
They're the exception to the rule because, again, the Kelsey, Travis, he does his thing and he goes out and he performs and his teams and play all the games and win the Super Bowls. Michael Parsons ain't won a damn thing.
But they just started doing that podcast a few years ago. They weren't doing it as damn rookies.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting, man. Talking about having an adult in the room. It feels like me, Steve, and Larry had the same conversation, with the Rockets. We'll talk about basketball another day, man. Go ahead, Larry. You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say this, man. The thing about that bad situation that kind of pissed me off a little bit was, they've been associated with Ben Johnson for years. Ben Johnson ain't taking that job. He man, why would I lead the Lions while we over there kicking the crap out of y'all every year to go get my ass whooped? He ain't taking that job, right? But then remember I said in the chat, I think we all owe Chandler an apology, right? So Jeff Saturday made a good point this morning. He was like, and I get it, y'all on the Mike McCarthy train. But Jeff Saturday, he said, dude, I played for Mike McCarthy. The thing with Mike McCarthy is you got to remember he wins games. And I get people say he's a good coach, but he wins with good quarterbacks. And Aaron Rodgers, he went into Dak. He wins when he has a perfect situation. The Bears ain't the perfect situation.
No.
And the thing that really resonated with me was, remember how I'm a big fan of OCs matter, right?
Yep.
DCs matter, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I'm over here like Antonio Pierce. Come, man. The talent is there. They just wasn't headhunting. But Jeff Saturday was saying, he said, in Mike McCarthy's offense, the reason why you don't see all of the motion, all of the, the new play scheme in, because he expects his quarterbacks to come to the line, access it, and pull the play off according to what the defense is showing. That's what you do with a seasoned, proven starter, not with a rookie second year
But Larry, I don't
quarterback.
mean to, let me interrupt you one quick because Mike McCarthy got brought up in the head coach of the 49ers
Yeah,
before
he
Seifert.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's talking
was
about Walsh, right?
Yeah, he got brought up in that tree. Mike McCarthy's from the Walsh tree, bro. He's
no,
used to Steve.
I thought
Yeah,
Mike McCarthy was from the what's the
One
guy
second.
from the Packers?
he's from
I'll pull
the homegirls from the Walsh
Yeah, I
tree.
thought it was the
So
whole
it
Yeah,
all
Packers.
goes
Yeah,
trickle
they're
down.
all from the.
I mean, they're
They're
all
used
yeah,
to
Walsh, like
yeah, they
having
all
Walsh, they're all
quarterbacks
that.
who
Yeah,
are
yeah.
smart enough to go to the line. He's used to the Steve Young, Joe Montana's, Brett Favre's, Aaron Rodgers, even his young guys. They were next level. That's what he's
Mhm.
used to. He ain't
But you
used to.
can't. But they
You know,
don't teach these. They don't teach that to these quarterbacks coming out now. That's why a lot of the ones that have early success is simple plays. Is giving them running offenses that give them wide open receivers or an easy read. They not
Yeah, but
giving
there's
them
no
the
innovation in that offense in Dallas, and that's one of the
No,
big
no.
problems.
no,
yeah.
it's
But
a
you
Like
simple,
gotta
they're,
it's a
you gotta do that
simple
for a
offense.
rookie quarterback
it's a
or a
very
young
simple
quarterback.
boiled down offense,
Yeah.
and the problem with McCarthy is all the coordinators that came and gone, right? You had Kellen Moore. Came in there, said he wanted to innovate the offense. It was boring. They don't run the football. They got rid of the coordinators, and it's still the same boring offense. Now this year you can give him a pass because he lost his quarterback, but I mean it's a lot of the same old things. I mean,
But that offense works when you have the right quarterback.
yeah, but
Yes.
I mean,
You
I
gotta.
blame the GM that's not bringing in enough talent or not signing guys when they should.
I
And
mean, but
and
if you look at
yeah,
it though, Dak Prescott was a Pro Bowl quarterback before Mike McCarthy.
Right.
sure.
Like, dude, you not playing with a rookie quarterback who they literally handed a whole playbook to and said, "Here, learn the whole playbook."
Yeah.
Instead of
No.
saying, "Hey, you master this 2 plays, and then we'll give you a third play when you master these 2 plays."
I mean, but
McCarthy's
look at
not
what's
a
going
coach
on in
that.
DC. Well, Cliff Kingsbury, who has all these different kind of gadget plays, stuff like that, he realized, like, you know what? Okay, so Jaden Daniels played in kind of a pro style system at
Yeah.
LSU.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like the spread, like kind of like all this stuff like that Kingsbury likes to run. So Kingsbury, he listened. He was like, you know what? Let's bring it down to Jaden's level. Okay, it's like
Yeah.
one read, two read, three.
Yes.
You know, let's not do all this motion and all this like stuff like that. So it's all about like these coordinators having to adapt to like the
Yes.
player style and
Yes.
stuff like that.
And they
And
don't do it. Like
Jaden
And
that's
a lot
why
of these
that's why
quarterbacks
the
like, no, run
that's
it
why
the
the
way,
OC in
run it the way
Atlanta
I
is
want.
going to lose his job
Yeah.
because he didn't
Yeah.
adapt his offense to his quarterback that he had, right?
Mhm.
It's very simple. A lot of these coordinators they force their offense. They're not smart enough to adapt their offense to
Yeah.
the players that they have.
Yes.
That's what happened in Chicago. That's what happened
Mhm.
in Atlanta. I can go all the
Yeah.
way down
Yeah.
the line. Like
And,
these guys aren't smart enough to do it,
yeah.
and
No, they're
that's
too
the problem.
stubborn. It's not that they're not smart enough. The ego won't allow them to. And the thing with Jaden came from Arizona State. Who was his head coach at Arizona State? Herm Edwards.
Right.
If you know nothing about Herm Edwards, you gonna know your damn fundamentals and you gonna understand how to be a pro. So Jaden Daniels went to LSU. He was already a pro in how he approached his craft, how he did his work. He just needed somebody to actually help him be a better quarterback, which obviously Herm couldn't do. So Washington got pretty much a pro quarterback as a rookie. And like you said, Cliff Kingsbury was smart enough to say, okay, I see you. I see you professional in how you approach your business. Let me dumb this down enough so that we can be successful. Most of these OCs, Arthur Smith with Pittsburgh, we talked about that. Hell, go around the league. Even the clowns with the Jets, Washington in Chicago,
Dude, but
in
Mike McCarthy
Carolina.
calls his
Look at
plays.
look at
So
look.
he is the OC.
They had to
Um,
bench Bryce Young until Dave Canales figured out, oh, maybe I should dumb down the damn offense.
But you know what? I agree with you, but honestly, I'm still going to go back to the notion that some of these OCs aren't smart enough to adapt, and they can't adapt to what they have because Ken Dorsey lost his job in Cleveland because he was determined to put Watson in a situation that. Why wouldn't you take some of the tape that you have on Watson in Houston and say, or come to him and say, what do you like to do? What plays do you like to do?
Watson,
He did the same thing with
DTR,
Josh
Jameis,
Allen.
all of them.
He
Yeah,
did
but
the same
Ken
thing with Josh Allen,
Dorsey-
though.
Ken Dorsey wasn't smart enough to adapt his offense to the players that he has. You got a franchise, you got a quarterback that you're paying guaranteed money to that's not going anywhere. Change your offensive philosophy to fit the quarterback. Don't try to change
and that's why he doesn't have a
to
job
fit your
anymore.
That's right.
offense.
Yeah,
How many
exactly.
times
And that's why he doesn't have a job anymore.
How many times y'all heard me say on the show, Josh Allen looked like garbage with Ken Dorsey?
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yes.
Hot garbage. Because
Yes.
Ken Dorsey did not know how to maximize his skill set.
Because Ken Dorsey's not an offensive coordinator. He's a great quarterbacks coach, which is very different than being an offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
Nail on the head with that.
And that's the point. Ken Dorsey had 2 bites of the apple with 2 good quarterbacks. You can say whatever you want about Watson. Before all this stuff happened, he was a damn good quarterback in Houston and couldn't figure it out twice.
Right.
Twice.
Right.
That's not on the players. That's on you.
Look at where Ken Dorsey was a quarterbacks coach. The quarterbacks were great. They were very successful. Ken Dorsey's not an OC. Like we keep saying this all the time. Everybody is not built for every situation. Some guys need to be just coordinators. Some guys need to be just quarterback coaches. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be a damn head coach. Everybody can't be a damn OC.
Yeah.
No.
And there's no shame in that. Like, Spagnuolo is going to go down as one of the greatest defensive coordinators that ever lived. There's no shame in it.
Terrible head coach. North Turner, great offense coordinator. Terrible head coach.
Wade Phillips, great defensive coordinator. Not a very good head coach.
Ask Dallas.
Vic Fangio can run my defense until he in the grave, and I will resurrect his ass and have him as a spirit. Okay,
bring in the Narcan.
Bring him in, right?
Yeah, I mean, like again, we're talking about like Jim Johnson. RIP to the great Jim Johnson. He was one of the best defensive coordinators of all time. Yep. Would not want him to be my head coach.
Jim Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz. We can do this all day. I mean, it's some guys who like a guy who I always bring up, Norm Chow. Norm Chow was an offensive coordinator for 37 years.
Yes, amazing.
37 years. He became a head coach. Was fired after 2 seasons.
Yep. Monty Kiffin.
Who was your DC Kiffin in Pittsburgh series?
Dick LeBeau.
Dick LeBeau.
Yeah. Dick LeBeau. Absolutely. One of the
great cornerbacks, Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. If you had gave that man a head coaching job, he'd been fired in 2 weeks.
He had one. Didn't he have a job and he went back or something like that? Didn't he have a head coaching job at one point? I thought he did.
I think maybe even before he was like with the Steelers, I think he was like the coach like in Detroit or something like that. Didn't work out, and then he became like so he became like Dick LeBeau, like one of the greatest defensive coordinators of all time. But
that's why I wasn't upset that Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn too didn't leave Detroit. Go to the right situation. Like when I interview at jobs, I don't pick the first one that gives me an offer. I assess, and I'm like, is this situation right for me?
But the problem is,
I hope Ben Johnson, do not go to Dallas. If it's open, do not go to Dallas.
Because there's only 32 of those jobs, and that, let's say if there's 6 openings, 3 of them go to retreads because these are people's buddies. Yeah. Now you're competing with like 30 guys for 3 slots. So you kind of have to take one if it's offered to you because you might not get that damn chance again.
I know. Yeah. I mean, geez, my Giants offensive coordinator is getting interviews.
Yeah.
I'll say that again. The Giants offensive coordinator is getting head coaching interviews. The Giants that could barely score 10 points a game is getting, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, I want to drop something on y'all right quick. Go ahead, coach, because I'm gonna drop something super serious.
Bobby Slowick is getting interviews, and what he continues to shoot himself in the foot. You have CJ Stroud, you have Nico Collins, you have Tank Dell, get well soon, Tank. And it's like you continue to shoot yourself in the foot. Yet he is getting, interviews. And he's like, and I want to bring this back. And I just thought about this now. Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is going to get this job. But he's he needs this. He needs a top draft pick. He needs to be able, because things were good in Tennessee when he had King Henry at the height of his powers, when he had Tannehill, when Tannehill was throwing it all over the place, when you had like that defense. But then it's like when things started kind of thin out in Tennessee, Vrabel was gone.
Yep.
So I feel like buyer beware, but no, it's going to, like, New England wants to like make this whole big happy family thing, but it's like, look, Vrabel's getting his job, and it's going to be great at first, for like the first 3 seasons, just like it was in Tennessee. And
I
then
don't think
when he has to rely on his own merit, it's just like we'll see.
I think
I don't think it's gonna be that great.
Solid. I think he's a good coach. I think he can coach.
I think he's a bit of a front running coach, though. I mean, again, now look, all coaches need talent, of course, but I feel like
Here is the issue with that. Here's the issue with that. You're going to go to the AFC East, where you got the Bills, who aren't going nowhere, the Dolphins, who, for all intents and purposes, are going to compete. I'm not sure how well they're going to compete. The Jets are going to eventually.
What's going on in Miami.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing we'll have to talk about.
Blank show
but
down there.
If the Jets don't screw up this offseason, they should be. They will because it's the Jets. But if the Jets don't screw up this offseason, they're going to be, in the thick of things. And then you got the rest of the AFC. It's going to be a problem for New England for a while
because they don't have enough talent. They still don't have
their biggest problem.
They need dudes. They need dudes. They need a whole bunch of dudes.
It's been a while, dude. How many drafts have they gone through with Tom Brady his last 2 years and since Tom Brady, and they brought no talent into that building?
Yep.
None.
The problem is that, villain, I'll give you that, but everybody else around them has gotten better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you can bring in the talent that you need to bring in, but the Bills are going to get better. The AFC North is going to be in the thick of things. You still got to deal with the Patriots. You still got to deal with the Chiefs and the Chargers, who went from bottom to the top of the whole thing now because they got a coach that can figure it out.
3 teams in that division have made the playoffs.
The Broncos,
the only team that didn't make the playoffs out of that division fired their coach.
Yeah,
right. So the whole AFC around the Patriots have gotten better, and then you bring in you got a second year quarterback. Your offensive line is beat to holy hell. Yep. You have no wide receivers. It's a mess. So is the Patriot job looking decent, even with your $154 million cap space in your number 3 draft pick? I'm not sure.
Well, according to what everybody's saying,
but that cap space, what they're going to. I'm sorry, go ahead. No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying they're saying that Patriots' job is all great and fine and fabulous, so they can justify bringing in Vrabel. But we can look at that team and say they're 3 years away. They're 3 years away from just accumulating enough talent to be able to compete.
But they had cap space a year or two ago, right? And who did they bring in? Like, not much, right?
No.
But this year they're going to open up they're going to make T. Higgins the highest paid receiver in the league.
Okay, but we all know you build you don't build through free agency.
No, absolutely not. But they have free agent. They have money to spend.
But they have so many holes to fill.
No, I know. But the first thing they're going to do is get a meeting with T. Higgins and give him a blank check. How much do you want?
Yeah,
and they're going to make him the highest paid receiver because how much cap space they have? They have 100 and what?
But then they're going to have to sign at least
over 100 million, well over 100 million.
127 million. I'm looking at it now.
Offensive line to gel.
Yeah, no, 127 million.
Barry, that's why I told you if they would ended up with that number 1 pick, they would have traded back. They would have traded back like the Patriots
been smart
and got a whole bunch of the picks.
They still should.
I think they still
They still can.
They probably will.
Because if something happens where they're at people are saying Cam Ward to Tennessee, they're saying either
that's going to be a mess.
That's going to be a big mess. That's going to be a big mess.
No, exactly. They're saying Shador or Hunter to the Browns. I think the Browns should take Hunter without question.
Shador is never going to Cleveland or Tennessee. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, but to me, Hunter should go to the Browns. The Browns, if they get Hunter and who's the other cornerback?
Denzel Ward.
Ward.
I don't want Travis Hunter anywhere near the Browns because again, that organization.
No, I know. I know we don't want him there, but the Browns would be foolish to pass on him when you basically are bringing back Watson, right?
And
the Giants would go get the other quarterback. So at the 4 pick, Who's the fourth pick? And who you got the number 4 pick?
I honestly believe
Calvin Banks, according to this mock I'm looking at right now.
You could trade back.
Yes.
And somebody would trade up. And then you could accumulate picks to Chandler's point, and then you start building talent in New England.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen in the top 5. I'm gonna tell you right now. Someone's going to reach. Someone's going to reach for either Riley Leonard or Jalen Milroe. I'm telling you this right now.
I don't think it's gonna be Riley. I really don't, because what I've seen from him is
he's Daniel Jones and a worse passer.
Exactly. So I don't think you're gonna see that. I could see somebody reaching for Milroe, especially after his pro day, and he better participate.
His pro day is going to be amazing. His pro day is going to be amazing.
But he better go to the combine. He's going. He's going, and his pro is going to be amazing. And someone's going to reach for him within the first 5 picks. They're going to start him day 1, and that's going to be a huge mistake because that young man needs another year of seasoning. Exactly, because that's why I was hoping if the Giants were high enough, like trade back too. You need talent. You do need the quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but you need a lot of talent.
You're not moving off that 3 pick though. I mean, I can see you doing some.
Absolutely,
I can see you doing some finagling to get back into the first round and get some more picks, but you're not moving off that 3 pick.
And I have to give Larry LG credit because everybody heard my voice messages when we won against the Colts. I was furious, but Larry opened my eyes and really got me to think about it. If I look at it like this, the best thing that happened to the Giants is that they don't have the number 1 pick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Because let me get it out because I wasn't on last week, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Right. Like the thing is, I look at Jalen Daniels, right, and I look at all these quarterbacks that weren't the number 1 pick, right? Look at the guys that were the number 1 pick, and then the guys that were the 2 or 3 or 4, right? It didn't hurt Lamar Jackson not being the number 1 pick. It didn't hurt Josh Allen not being the number 1 pick. It didn't hurt Jalen Daniels. It didn't hurt CJ Stroud. The best thing that could happen for the Giants is to be in a position to still get the quarterback, but they, you know what I mean? Like you don't have that number 1 pick because I don't know a lot of number 1 picks at quarterback that work out. Patrick Mahomes was number 10 pick. I think that worked out just fine. You know what I mean? The only one that I can remember was Eli Manning.
Here is my only retort to that is that those gentlemen went to situations where it was not as bad and not as dire as the New York
Was Houston
Giants.
A good situation for CJ Stroud?
Yeah, it
was.
Anybody think Houston was a good situation?
It was because they had
nobody thought it was. Nobody thought it was.
Because serious, I'm not going to let you do that.
Hold on. It was because they had a grown man and D'Amico Ryans at the helm, and they drafted around him. They went and got Tank Dell. They went and got Nico Collins.
That's hindsight.
I gotta
that's
say,
hindsight because everybody killed the Houston Texans before DeMarco Ryans got there. Even when they got DeMarco Ryans, they were like, "Why would he go there? Why the hell would he go?" Nobody thought the Houston Texans was a good situation.
No.
Nobody.
It was 2 parts, and Steve will probably agree to me. They hired Nick Caserio, and Nick Caserio has been making some really smart moves. But then they got rid of Pastor
Jack.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say
Pastor Jack. Everything.
And that's when, and Steve knows when they first hired D'Amico, I said they got to give him what he needs, and they got rid of Pastor. And I'm like, okay, now we can do business, and that's the reason why that Houston situation ended up the way it was. But prior to, y'all got to remember that
was before the draft. Let's keep in mind that was before the draft, and then they went out there and secured themselves a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, but Nick was,
and let's not forget what the Texans did that night. The Texans Casero pulled off one of the greatest draft night heists of all time.
Willie Anderson and Stroud.
By getting Stroud, then doubling back and getting Will Anderson.
Yeah.
So
Anderson fell in his lap.
Yeah,
It's
I
still
mean, and then
to
it's just
Tank Dell.
yeah, and then you
It's
get
still got
Tank
Tank
Dell,
Dell.
and yeah, and then it's like so you like again before that. I feel like in real time, it was like when that happened, people was like, "Well, what's going on down in Houston?
Right,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
right,
whoa, whoa! They might be cooking down here in H,
right.
you know." But before that night in Kansas City, nobody was really like, "Oh, well, this could be a great opportunity
No,
down in
no,
Houston."
no,
You know,
no.
said
Nobody
that.
was.
Nobody said
Nobody
that
was.
because you didn't know. Even to your point that Pastor was going all that stuff, it was still the Texans. It was still a dumpster
Yeah.
fire. It was
Yeah,
still
it
an
was. It was.
organization that fired a coach after one season. You know that showed no life. The ownership was a mess. Like it was still a joke. Like the Houston Texans were still a
They
joke.
got everything right
Finally,
in that offseason. They got the GM right. They got the coach right. They got the draft picks right. They got the trades right. That
Hey,
very rarely damn happens.
Right here.
right,
Yeah.
right.
But back to my initial
To that
point,
point, and I want Chandler to go in and chime in on the Giants. That's why
yeah.
at first I'm mad because the number one pick says you can get anybody you want. But even now, like being the number 3 pick, I'm not mad at it because if you do it right, you still are going to get the right players in your organization. The only thing I'm really mad about is that they didn't trade Slayton and Ozies because to your point, Chandler, you need bodies. You need more picks. They should have traded those guys because now they're going to walk and you get nothing back from them. That's why I have a problem with Joe Shane. Not the fact that you gave Daniel Jones money, but when you had a chance to build draft capital, you didn't do it.
But see, that's why I had a problem with them keeping them. And based on what Mara said today, when Bruce Beck asked him, how long are you going to give them? He said, they better get it done soon because I'm about out of patience. You already put them in a situation where if they were able to draft a young quarterback, they're going to start them too soon because they're trying to save their job.
That's the problem.
If you were going to fire them, fire them.
That's the fire, and you can't fire one and keep the other. You got to do
you
it
got to
both.
get a both out of there.
But I give Mara credit for not sticking with both guys, but you can't after every couple years fire people, man. Like,
but
you're
if
not
you get it
just
wrong,
like
wrong,
I'm upset.
it's wrong, Barry. You can't keep going. And here's what I'm saying. He obviously doesn't have enough confidence in them because he wouldn't have said what he said. Because if he truly had confidence in what he would have said was, it'll take how long it takes. These are my guys. Instead, what he said was, at the first sign of trouble, I'm hitting the eject button on somebody.
Yeah.
That's
I hope that's not the case. I hope he's not. He's saying that I'm about out of patience because I'm tired of losing. Not I'm about out of patience because these guys better get it right this year. Like if they show improvement and get to like 7-8 wins, okay, we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, but you're going to
Giant fan,
you start the season say 3-6, right?
Yeah,
everybody gone. Everybody gone.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what I hope doesn't happen because like I hope that he's saying he's out of patience because in the last 10 years we've had one winning season.
Right.
And that's not Giants football. I hope you don't have patience for that. But I hope you have patience to let these guys bring in the talent that they need. Now, Joe Shane should be on a very tight leash because you've had some years to basically overhaul this roster. All of the Dave Gettleman retreads, outside of the ones that actually worked, these are your guys now.
I mean, Evan Neal.
What do you got to show?
People were asking for Evan Neal and he wouldn't trade him. You know you're not. That's oh my God. You could have got a 5th round pick for him. Dude, an extra draft pick is an extra damn draft pick.
You can't trade a first round pick though, right? Because then that admits you were wrong.
If you're not going to play him, then you need to
move
him.
They played him. They just didn't play him where people wanted them to play.
They shouldn't have played him. That's the problem.
Telling all about that with Makai Becton. They just kept him.
What I tell you, when he went to Philly, and they put him at guard, which he should have been the entire time, because if you look at Makai Becton and look at his knees, first of all, right?
Yeah.
He's had 4 surgeries on each knee. He's not a tackle because he can't fucking move. All right? He can't move.
They need to move Evan
So you put him at guard. Makai Becton only missed 2 games this season. He was one of the top guards in the NFL. But the Jets, being the Jets, said, no, you a tackle. We're going to leave you a tackle or you're going to be a tackle. He's
And
a
let me tell
guard.
you, man.
Man,
I played guard most of my high school football life, and when I moved to tackle, it ain't easy.
No, it's not.
I played left tackle, and it ain't easy.
Bro,
Okay,
guard,
so
you have some more protection. It's a lot less that you have to do, and not for nothing, you ain't got the best damn pass rusher coming at you on every play.
guard is a lot different. It's a tighter space. You have bigger, stronger guys, and you the protections are a little different.
But you don't. But it's less
But you don't.
movement.
But you're
for
not
you. So
exposed on a.
you're kind of in a phone
Yeah.
booth. Yes,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're not as exposed as you are as at tackle.
Right.
Like you know what I mean. Like you are. Listen, you got to be smart.
Yes.
You got to be able to take on
which he is.
linebackers, big tackles. Like you know what I mean. But it's just different.
But his
like,
body is not built for tackle. His body.
Yeah, I just
Neil
want to say
Evans-
it's one of those things where it's like when a guard blows an assignment, you can kind of gloss over it. When a
Yes.
tackle blows an assignment,
It's
it's
a wrap.
loud and you know it.
Your quarterback is getting killed.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why tackles get paid a lot of money, and
That's
guards
why they get paid
a little bit
money.
less. So,
Hey, Barry, I wanted to say
but
this, man, dude. And I know we talking about these. We've been on these coaches and these GMs and all this stuff for a minute, right?
We're gonna
I'ma
stay
say
here.
this.
We ain't moving.
When your Giants draft Shador Sanders, because he already put them on the cliques, right?
sure,
It's gonna be all is right in Giantville, right?
No, it won't.
Y'all not gonna have to come
No,
up because I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. I honestly think that they kind of worked out something. We all knew Dion was gonna use his influence. He want his son where his son gonna go, right?
right.
You saw that today. As soon as Rand got fired, it's probably because his owner knew he couldn't talk Dion to get Shador to come to Tennessee. Because as soon as he got fired, Dion tweeted back about wow.
Yeah.
Because you probably had the black man in place because you say, oh yeah, hey brother, you can go talk to the other brother. We can get Shador over here and all is gonna be right.
Yeah.
But he already said, no, that's not what's gonna happen. I want him in New York. So that's the reason why Shane still got his job. That's why everybody in Giantsville got their job because that's probably already been prearranged.
Bro. I don't trust Dayball as a head coach. I trust him as an offense coordinator. I don't trust him as a head coach.
I don't trust him as an OC because he was an OC this year and we ain't scored nothing. So,
but if Dion want his son there and Dion want his son playing with them, with that coach and with that GM, you know what? They gonna have jobs.
Yeah, it's gonna work. It's gonna work.
We need to compile a list of who's gonna be the next head coach for the Giants.
But Chandler, I'm gonna put it like this, dude. As soon as like I said, you ain't gotta be the smartest person in the room. You just gotta have some damn common sense. As soon as Rand got fired, Dion tweeted back about him getting fired.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got fired and Dion tweeted it, the first mock draft that came up, Cam Ward, number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cam Ward ain't been a number 1 quarterback. Oh God, and nobody's pre-ranked.
Nobody's right.
Nobody. It's been Shador.
The one I'm looking at now. The one I'm looking at now. Cam Ward.
I feel bad for Cam Ward in Tennessee, bro.
And as soon as but if Ken, like I said, all this stuff is kind of a cause and effect. I can tell you right now, if Tennessee didn't have that number 1 pick, Rand probably maybe still have a job. But
like the owner, Amy Sistrunk, she's kind of a clown, bro. She's
kind of
look. Hey, look,
she's a total clown.
But I gotta go this. But I gotta go there. And Steve, you gonna agree with me, man? Fuck the Titans. They some fucking assholes. Man, fuck them.
Sorry,
they
Mom.
do not.
We made it almost an hour and a half.
Hey, I don't give a shit, bro. I'm fucking pissed, bro. They some fucking assholes. They don't want to come off the Oilers gear.
That's terrible, man.
Yeah, that is.
And that's why they get their ass. That's why they get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Whenever they troll it out, that's when they get their ass kicked.
And they only want to troll it out when they play the Texans. That's the only time.
It's such a troll move. Like it was so disheartening to sit there and watch Houston play against that Houston Oilers uniform. Like what the hell?
Did you see what JJ Watt did in that when they in the what do you call that thing when they throw it to New York for the update or game break?
Yeah.
Right, JJ Watt did. Oh, dude, that's next level trolling. That's next level.
Like I say, man, fuck the Titans, man. At the end of the day, shit, they need to quit playing that dumb stuff and just fork it over to Houston. You actually see more Houston Oilers jerseys in Houston than you do in Tennessee.
Shout out to Paul Wall.
I hate for Cam Ward to kind of get his career. He's going to have a setback starting out of Tennessee, bro. It's going to be a setback for his career.
Because the organization is a joke, their owners a joke. They're a joke but guess what though? They're building that beautiful new stadium right on the river, and there's gonna be a Super Bowl in Nashville pretty soon. Yeah. And it's whatever. It's like, you know what, I'm not gonna go there with the Titans because like we want to talk about other stuff, but it's like we could do a whole like fuck the Titans show. I mean, but
we really could.
No, I mean, listen, the Titans went to a Super Bowl. They've had good quarterback play. They've had good quarterbacks there. Rest in peace to Steve McNair.
Bro, they ruined Steve McNair, bro. Man,
absolutely.
They ruined Vince Young.
Steve Fisher. How many quarterbacks did Steve Fisher ruin careers of?
So that's why Coach Prime is going to pull a power move. Don't you dare draft
a handoff specialist. You had this dude was literally up for the Heisman in the D2 for a Heisman, and you turn him into basically a glorified handoff.
Yeah,
I mean, he was handing the ball off to Eddie George. Yeah. I mean, let's not act like he was.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a good.
I'm gonna put it like this, bro.
Steve Fisher got Steve McNair beat up so badly,
and he won MVP.
But Eddie George,
Steve McNair wasn't like a game manager, so I mean, Jeff Fisher got a lot of work.
That ain't one game manager.
You talking about
Jeff Fisher?
Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher.
Okay, guys. Jeff Fisher.
I'm sorry,
Jeff Fisher, basketball coach.
Yeah, right. Hold on a second.
Steve, right?
Hey, Steve, but why you
talking about Steve right here?
We're gonna get fact checked out here real quick.
No more fact checking. No more fact checking, man. That's Zug dropped the bomb this earlier. No more fact checking.
Listen, I think the Giants are in a great position to get Sanders. I just hope that the Giants not the brass, but like Dable and company don't throw this kid to the wolves to save their job. To Chandler's point,
that's my problem. That's my whole problem.
They're not going to have a choice.
So, but I hope that they draft this kid, develop this kid, and then play him when he's ready, because guess what? It worked with Eli Manning. We lost every game that Eli played until the last game. 2 Super Bowls later, this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer this year. I don't care.
And actually, when they benched what's his face, Warner, they actually were winning. They were 5-4.
They were 5-4. And then they proceeded to lose every game after that, finish the season 6-10. The next year, the Giants went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think Shedeur should play until at least week 15 this coming season.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna keep it a whole beam with you. I'm gonna keep it a whole beam with you. There is no possible way that Shedeur Sanders gets drafted to the New York Football Giants and he is not your week 1 starter. There is no way.
He shouldn't be serious.
He should not be. He should not be. Listen. No. If you're smart, read the room. Unless he's Jaden Daniels and going to get you 11 wins and into the playoffs, don't put him out there. Just don't do it.
That's the thing.
That's a desperation move. That's the thing,
though. Your coach and your GM are sitting ducks. You have to understand what the situation is. You just watched your division opponent and the Washington Commanders take a rookie and get these Bamas to the playoffs. You watched the last couple of weeks of Michael Penix Jr. get the Atlanta Falcons into playoff contention. Bo Nix, the same draft class as Jaden Daniels, got this team from the worst team in the division.
Look at the talent around them, though.
Exactly.
I got that. I'm not saying that the job is done, but let's keep it a whole beam. The Washington Commanders have 1 wide receiver.
Let me tell you why.
The New York Giants have Malik Neighbors. Again, I understand what you're saying. Don't get it twisted. I understand that. But you got to understand what's going on. The man has the New York Giants football cleats. Okay, this is where he wants to go. This is where he wants to be.
But Dan Quinn wasn't fighting for his job. Instead of saying, and he was able to run an offense that basically said to Jaden Daniels, do as little as possible. We're going to play some good defense. We're going to run the damn ball. Terry McLaurin didn't even start getting passes thrown at him till week 4.
Yeah, and
they said, Terry, you ain't going to get a lot of passes first 3 weeks, bro. They told him that, and he said, "Okay." And they managed the offense, and they managed Jaden Daniels. That's not going to happen if the Giants put Shedeur Sanders out there week 1.
Let me tell you why Shedeur Sanders does not start week 1. Right guard, left guard, center, left tackle. That's why you do not start Shedeur Sanders. Until you figure that out, I ain't running them out there.
But Sirius, I believe Sirius is right though, because Daboll and Shane are thinking about, well, I gotta save my job, like Chicago did with Caleb Williams, and they shouldn't have. Caleb Williams should have started week 1.
No,
Caleb Williams should have started week 1.
And that's why you have the tape to say, you know what? Maybe I don't have to say. Eli Manning didn't start till week 10. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt his career growth.
No,
it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt Tom Coughlin. You know what I mean?
But you had adults in the room, though. You had adults in the room.
Yeah,
making that decision. And right now,
you know what? I gotta say this too. I gotta say this too, because Alt knows what I'm talking about. If I gotta hear another white face on New York radio talking about Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward aren't first-round picks, I'm going to lose my mind.
Oh, well,
you're only saying that. You're only saying that because the Giants have never had a black quarterback in their life,
and they don't want. Dude, you saw Geno Smith to start. You saw what happened.
They don't want a black quarterback.
No, they don't.
Coaching their Giants. No, and guess what? This is a 2025. Get over it. Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are top 3 picks.
Boomer
get out of here! Get out of here!
I was say Boomer
on the bus and get the hell out.
Yeah.
And Brandon Jimmy, don't kiss the crunchy side of my ass after I eat corn. Okay.
Boomer Esiason. I will say his name. Boomer Esiason.
Yeah.
Kiss Boomer my ass.
Yeah. Like whatever. Man.
Hey, you know what? I did want to drop this on y'all, right? I know we've been talking about these coaches, these GMs, and all this stuff, right? So I looked at it from this perspective too when I started just assessing like these black coaches getting fired, these black GMs getting fired, right? You know how they talk about the good old boy club, and you know they have all these owners that are good old boy club. You know where else the good old boy club existed? In the coaching radio, in the GM ranks.
Yeah, sports.
Because they actually hire somebody. You're like the quality control coach, and you getting paid $500,000 to do nothing. Or you the clipboard manager and you getting paid $300,000 to do nothing.
Special assistant to the head coach.
Special assistant to something. And hey, Bear, hands off to your Giants. They got a black assistant GM. But
I love him. If they had fired Joe Shane, I want him to be the GM.
But how many times we've heard these stories about where you have I'm gonna say non-black head coach and he's hiring his buddies. They're on the team, on the payroll, in these high-paid positions. These positions where some of these assistants, they're making like $1 million a year. Or they like assistant to the assistant of the GM. Or they these scouts and they making $500,000 a year. And they ain't scouting shit. But no, they ain't scouting shit.
They playing solitaire on their computer, man.
They're scouting what coffee grounds we need to put next to the machine.
It's a way to get their foot in the door to get another job.
Yep, that's all it is.
And I know how we all feel about nepotism, but I look at it from that standpoint too. It's some of these owners probably like, you know what? Nah, man, this here coach, man, we gave his brother a chance, but now he giving all his buddies a chance. Oh man, he was the black GM, but then he giving all his buddies a chance.
Oh yeah, but see, we can't do that. But if you look at every NFL roster, why do you think there's so many familiar names on these coaching staffs? You're like,
but they're all friends. It's like
because it's a friend or a son or a brother or a nephew. That's how these guys get jobs. They that's my buddy. I bring him as a QA. Listen,
they network.
That's how they all are. Like a lot of these guys, like look at like Sean McVay. His what I think is his DC. They played together at college or something like that. And they came on together. Like I would do the same thing when I coached football briefly in my career. I hired my best friend. You know what I mean? Like I did the same thing. Like, so what are you gonna tell me? No,
I was always of the mind of this when I was in the civilian world working as a quality engineer. If I knew you, I would get you a phone call. That's it.
Yeah,
the rest is up to you. And I will tell you, bro, embarrass me if you want. I will bury you. I will bury you. Right? I very rarely recommended people because I took that very seriously because that's on me. Me recommending you's on me. Yeah, you about to mess up my name.
And I do that to this day. Like I am very careful of who I put in front of people, who I give resumes to, because like I got burned once and that was the last time. I recommended somebody, got them the job, a week, 2-3 weeks later, whatever, they quit. And then I couldn't talk to that person that I recommended them to ever again.
Man,
because like you know what I mean. So like that's the last time.
But you see this even with Dion. Dion giving all kinds of brothers opportunities that they wouldn't even be on the roster.
That's why they
would be on the
he's being careful about it because Chad Johnson been begging Dion to get him a job for a minute, and he kept telling Chad, "You ain't serious yet.
No,
so I ain't messing with you."
Yeah,
but I'm saying,
and I respect the hell out of that.
If you went through every NFL roster, I mean, you know, we all see all these people on the sideline. You went through every NFL roster, and you say, how many of these people are really actually working? And how many people are just showing up collecting a check? Bro, I bet you it's a whole lot of people that are not like us that are collecting a check.
We all watch ESPN. That little betting thing they got with Aaron K. Dolan. Aaron K. Dolan.
I wonder who
that last name sound familiar? Aaron K. Dolan.
James Dolan.
Thank you. How you think she got that damn job? How you think that Chris Collinsworth's son got his damn job? Matter of fact, Jeremy Schaap, son of Dick Schaap, how you think he got his job?
But he's damn good too.
I mean, but Schaap's good. Yeah, Schaap's
but
good.
He never would have been in there if his last.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and that's the name of the game. And I don't want to hear James Dolan's name because he got me.
I get getting a job because of the name and you doing the job, but how many people are on these rosters that's probably barely even show? You know how you watch Hard Knocks and you see that guy that's sitting in the back of the room, he ain't even saying nothing. And he just sitting in the back of the room. He don't even say like this is the game plan or nothing. He just sit in the back of the room. I bet you if you pull that guy's paycheck up, you probably be like, "What? Man, this dude makes $300,000 a year. What?" Like,
but you know what's funny, dude, too, like, because I watched the Giants Hard Knock the offseason, and everybody was trying to make excuses of why not to bring Saquon Barkley. The one guy that wanted to bring him back and was the voice of reason is the guy you talk about, Brandon Brown, and Adriana, friend of the show. One of the people, just like me, that said if Joe Shane was fired, Brandon Brown needed to be the GM because that dude is smart and he knows his stuff. That dude is a future GM, and the Giants would be a fool to let that guy walk out the building.
And he was one of the only assistants that said something in Hard Knocks. All the other assistants was like, "Yeah, good job. We're going to the Christmas party. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When do I get my free ticket to the after draft party? You know what I mean? But
because you bring these guys in, you bring these guys in and you give them the fake ass like consultant like title. It's like, oh well, he's coming in as a consultant. He's coming in to kind of like look at things, bring a different set of eyes into things. Let's pay this guy $250K to come in for a couple of weeks and just look at things. It's all stupid. It's all like, I'm gonna bring my partner in, get him paid real quick, and then like whatever. So it's just I don't know.
Yeah, it's like one of my homeboys. He works in construction, and he was like, "Dude, you know how hard it is to be a crane operator?" And he was like, "Dude, he could refer his son," and they like, "No." But then like somebody else's son who don't know his left foot from his right foot, got the certification. Oh yeah, we're gonna hire him. We're gonna start him off at $200,000 a year.
Bro, that's like the union. That's getting in the union. How you think have these people in the union, their grandfathers, grandma, they got whole generations in there, and you can't get a union card.
Yep. And like I say, it dawns on you when now you see, okay, there are no that many black coaches that can do that. And I can tell you right now, like if you're if you were a black coach and you say, okay, well, Steve's my boy, you know what, we're gonna give Steve a paper job.
Do it. You can't do it.
Well, he might have a little leeway because they give him a budget for their staff. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna give Steve a paper job. But Steve's gonna probably come in because he's gonna be like, you know what, we don't get this opportunity all the time. I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna take all these goddamn notes, I'm gonna bust my ass. But how many of them?
The problem is though, like Mike Tomlin's gotten crap for years for not hiring more black coaches. But the reality is, if Mike Tomlin had one losing season, he out. So he doesn't have the luxury of having some fluff on his staff trying to hook somebody up because they just keep waiting for him to fail.
Yeah,
That's
they've
the
been
worst
waiting for
part.
him to fail.
Is we get in that area where maybe we can help somebody out, but they still waiting for us to fail. So I can't take the chance because if I lose my gig, we got no shot to get somebody in. So I got to slide somebody in every couple of years. Every couple of years, I got to slide somebody in. I got to slide somebody every couple of years. Whereas these cats do it every year. I got to wait every 3 years to bring somebody on. You know what I'm saying? And that's the worst part is because there's so few of us. We don't have the luxury of saying, well, you know what? Listen, you hire him. I'm going to hire him. You hire him. Right? Because trust me, Dave Canales, who is Mexican descent, I believe. I forget what he is, but he's brown, but you wouldn't know it by the way he conduct himself, though, would you? Like Ron Rivera went out of his way to help you know that that try to let you forget, okay, that he was Hispanic. All right, he did everything he could for you to not think he was Hispanic. Until, of course, they wanted to sell some jerseys. And he's like, yeah, I'm Hispanic descent. But we don't have the luxury, bro, of doing that because there's so few of us. And the minute we slip, have one bad season, we out the door.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's weird to kind of sit back and kind of piece this all together, man. We've been on this for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm not even sure we're gonna have time to talk college, man.
We don't talk no damn college, other than the fact that I don't care who wins between Penn State and Texas. I'm gonna be disappointed because I want them.
Penn State and Notre Dame.
Oh no, Notre Dame's beating Penn State, bro.
Okay.
Who's playing Texas? Who's playing Texas?
Ohio State.
The Ohio State University.
I hate both of those schools, but I hate Ryan Day more. So Steve, go on.
Man, the only bad thing about that is Quinn Ewers is starting.
Yeah, he gonna give you a couple.
Well, but like I said last Thursday, and we can touch on this real quick. Like I said last Thursday, I was like, Texas has played one complete, like from the first quarter to the fourth quarter game all season. And that was a game against Florida. And then that was with them. DJ Lagway was hurt. So, so you can take that what you will. And if I'm Ohio State, I would be scared to death. It's like, what if these motherfuckers show up in Dallas on Friday and play a complete game?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they haven't done it all season.
They haven't done it all
Quinn
season.
Ewers.
Quinn
Ewers going top
if
five.
they
I'm sorry.
show up Friday and play a complete game? They might be in trouble if they can find a way to play a complete 4-quarter game. Yeah,
run the ball.
Because when Quinn Ewers actually is on his game, he is a really, really good quarterback.
He makes all the throws. He can make all the throws. He doesn't.
Yeah, he can make all the throws, but then again. I said it on Facebook, and I'll say it again here. It's like, Quinn Ewers, he makes 3 or 4 throws a game that Arch Manning also can make. So like, I just, but like, no, but
I like how you said that in there.
Yeah, it's Quinn Ewers is a guy where it's like he can make all the throws. It's just I think sometimes because he can make all the throws, he takes something off. He just kind of just flicks like his footwork is terrible.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. It's just it's his pocket presence is lacking. You get him outside of the pocket, he can move a little bit, but he rather just stay inside the pocket, which is like so weird for an offense that does all this misdirection stuff. They rarely put Quinn Ewers on the move. He's very stationary for a guy who can move a little bit. He needs
a coach. He needs to be coached in college one more year, but he needs a coach that can help him progress,
be developed,
because he has the talent.
Because you know what it is. You watched that stupid interception that he had against Arizona State, and then you watch him throw that beautiful touchdown pass, and it's like, well, why can't you do that all the damn time?
Why can't you do it all the time?
Because you can do it, and that's what's frustrating.
Because his footwork is lazy, and
he has lazy footwork. I mean, his footwork is terrible.
Talk about like a Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly quarterbacks do very well at the next level. Steve Sarkisian quarterbacks don't.
But
he
he
needs to go.
he did everything right on that touchdown pass. Pre-snap, bring the dude in motion, looking off the safety, throw it like the receiver. I can't remember his name. Ran a beautiful right to get
Golden
open.
ran a beautiful route.
Golden,
It was a perfect
Golden
play, and it's like why can't you do that all like Quinn? Okay, do that in the second quarter on 3rd and 7.
Just do that.
If
Just
he
Do
goes
it
in the
then,
draft,
and then you
he
wouldn't
goes
have to
into
do
the
it on
draft,
4th and 13 in overtime. If you
I'ma
do that in the third quarter on 2nd and 9, you know, I
right.
don't.
Do
if
y'all want to
Quinn
know?
Ewers
Y'all want to know
goes
what
in
I
the
think about?
draft, right? I'm gonna tell you, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy for saying this. I'm gonna tell you where I think he needs to go because I watched this guy fix Ryan Tannehill's terrible damn feet. Arthur Smith and the Steelers.
Yeah, they can run the ball like 80 times. But you know what? When I look at Quinn Ewers, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of white Jameson Winston. He will throw you in the game and he will throw you out of the game.
But see, Quinn Ewers doesn't like. He's not as reckless as I think James is.
Yeah,
I think he's lazy.
Man.
He's lazy.
But
he makes a lot of lazy throws, not necessarily.
It's his footwork.
Yeah, not necessarily bad throws, but
interception,
just like lazy throws. He kind of floats balls up a little bit,
If
like
you
on
get
the
him
interception.
with the right coach.
But does it matter if he throwing interceptions, whether you lazy or you reckless?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does because lazy feet can be fixed. Reckless can't.
Yeah, that's why Jameis Winston is on the move all the time.
Because Jameis is reckless, no matter what.
I'm gonna tell you, just like Jamarcus Russell.
No.
Lazy.
It's a lazy feet. It's a lazy feet, not lazy.
Yeah, not lazy. Yeah, not just lazy. But you know what though?
Russell ain't studied the playbook.
I'm just saying, bro, like real talk. If you know you got bad footwork, that's a part of being lazy. That's something you don't work on fixing.
I think it's not being coached right.
Teach you the right footwork. You don't know you have bad footwork because he's with the coach who hasn't told him he has bad footwork. He's just letting him live. You got to go to a coach that says, "Bro, I'm gonna break you down,
and I'm
gonna build you back up."
Mm-hmm. Right, that dude at the same time, like Steve just said, oh, let me just float it up so he can get intercepted.
Bro, I'm telling you. If Quinn Ewers comes out in the draft, he needs to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. His footwork will be fixed, and they're going to have their franchise quarterback for the next 15 years. Quinn Ewers is a franchise quarterback if he gets with the right pro coach.
He needs to go to the right coach and the right program where he doesn't have to play right away. Give him a year. And give him some time to get his crap together. But I think he can be a pro quarterback.
So if he gets drafted somewhere in the 10 to 15 round, bro, watch.
But like in general, though, that Arizona State Texas was worth the waiting.
Scatterbo. Yo, bro.
Well, look, I told you, I was on here talking about Scatterbo all season. I was like, that dude, he's legit. I mean, I don't care.
He is legit.
He's legit. Like
he had the best quarter of football in college I've seen all year. He took that game over. He took that game over.
He literally took that game over. And then I want to say this, and I want to get serious in here to talk about his Nittany Lions. I mean, it's like, look, this is Notre Dame team, man. They're gonna come with a bag full of rocks, and they're gonna throw them at y'all all night. And they're gonna throw them. That's what they do. They come to the field with a bag of stones, and they're just gonna just pop, 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 because that's what they want to do. That's what they do. And it's just like I'm look, we know Penn State can light it up. It's like I would like to see how Penn State, the same way we saw Georgia how react. I'm anxious to see. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. Of course, I'm looking forward to my Longhorns playing Ohio State. But man, the chess match that is going to happen where it's like, Notre Dame is what they is. They want this game to be 13-6.
They want to beat you up on both sides of the line.
16-10. And I just want to see if Notre Dame, or should I say, I want to see if Penn State can match that physicality.
I hope they can, because I was impressed with Penn State not letting Gentry get the record. They got, he got over 100 yards, but they were tough yards. Like, so they rose to the challenge, right? Serious. And I think
every time he took a step, there was 3 guys on him. Every time he took a damn step, there was 3 guys in his face.
Right. But now you're talking about a Notre Dame team that what they want to do, what all they can really do is run the ball. Can you match that?
It's James
So
Franklin.
I think the biggest issue that we're gonna have to figure out is the health of Abdul Carter. If
Yeah.
Abdul Carter is able
Mhm.
to play and play somewhat close to where he normally plays, I don't feel this game will be close. Because the guys up front, whether it be Kobe King, whether it be Tony Rojas, whether it be Devon Thomas, Zane Durant, it doesn't matter who it is up front. We have a pretty decent defensive line and secondary to deal with it. Here is my issue that I foresee. I love James Franklin, but James Franklin likes to get in the way of his own success.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for admitting it.
He likes to get in the way of his own
He's
success.
college football Dave Roberts.
Okay, and so
and he takes a sip. I hate you.
I was gonna call him Mike McCarthy.
I mean,
No, he's college football
it is
Dave
what it
Roberts,
is.
man.
It is what it is.
He can
So,
find a way to stay out of the way, then
Yes.
Penn State will be fine.
Yeah.
And that's what I am hoping. Like Nick Singleton, Katron Allen, Tyler Warren. I mean, we got some goons. We got some goons that can really put some points on the board. Drew Aller has to be patient and take what's given to him. If we don't get in our own way,
No, I said that last Thursday. Serious. Remember, I was like, I love how Allard let the game come to him against Boise, and if he can continue to do that, then Penn State's gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah.
I mean, again, he's gonna have some negative plays. He's gonna get hit and sacked a little bit. But the thing is, if we stay the course and do not, again, I'm gonna use the Tomlinism a little bit, do not let go of the rope and don't blink. I think this game will bust open in the third quarter because we have too many offensive weapons for it not. And for a Notre Dame team that appears to be very one-dimensional when they love to run the football and everything like that, if we play sound football, we're playing Texas or Ohio State in a national championship
It
game.
was serious.
Yeah.
Riley Leonard, and we've said this, he's Daniel Jones and a much worse passer. But if you let him run and let him get outside and you don't have the gap integrity, you know what I'm saying, on the rush, that boy can throw some, he's got it on. Right?
He can get it done.
And that's why I said
going passing, bro.
That's why I said the status of Abdul Carter is going to be
it's very big. Yeah,
because he can literally wreck a whole game just on his own, and then the rest of our team, the rest of our defense feeds off of that. So again, it's not going to be a cakewalk by no stretch of the imagination.
No, and I just want to say this, like, it's just funny to me because, like, watching the Sugar Bowl, it was like, again, what do we talk about? It's like run right at them. It's like they weren't doing anything cute, like little, like, outside runs. Riley Leonard was getting the ball and literally just running right into the teeth of the Georgia defense. And I was like, what are they doing? But then as the game went on, those little 1 yard, 2 yard runs, then he started kind of busting them open a little bit. And it's just like, it was just body blow after body blow after body blow. And it's just like, and then again, they soften Georgia up to where it's like the score doesn't really tell the whole tale of that game.
No,
I feel like that game was much more like,
they beat them up.
It's crazy.
Georgia got beat up.
Yeah, Georgia got beat up in 2 games that 10 years from now, I honestly believe we're going to be wanting to see again. These 2 games.
Yeah, I hope so. But the thing to me, here's the big key to that Notre Dame Penn State game. If Jeremiah Love isn't ready to go and is not effective, Notre Dame does not have a chance. I like Riley Leonard. I think
they're back at running back, bro. They're back at running back can go. He can get it.
But you're talking about a 1,000-yard rusher, and Love is that bell cow. That big back that can wear you down. So if he tweaked his knee against Georgia, right, and didn't come back in the game, it didn't spell the end because I thought Notre Dame's defense dominated that game. But if Love can't go and be effective, they say he's on track to play.
Yeah,
but if he can't play, Penn State's winning this game.
Oh yeah.
If Love breaks one big run, right? I think that gives Notre Dame the emotional fortitude because his backups are pretty damn good. So if he can break just one big one, one of the big ones, and then for the rest of the game, maybe they just start spotting them. You know what I'm saying? But this is going to be, these two games are going to be some of the best college football playoff games we've seen.
Oh yeah. It's funny because like I'll say this and then I'm done. It's like, Notre Dame, I heard somebody call Notre Dame a one-trick pony. You know what I said in response? I was like, they're really that one trick is really good.
That one trick
and which one trick are they talking about? Because they got a damn good defense and they can run the ball.
Yes.
So that's not fair to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was like, they're not a one-trick pony. It's like, I was like, they're a two-trick pony, and they're really good at those two tricks.
And they're true to who they are. If you true to who you are, it don't matter if you know what's coming. I'm still bringing it. You still got to stop it.
Because haters are out there saying they haven't played anybody. They played 6 top 25 teams, but these are like Louisville and Navy, and like they should be undefeated. Give Notre Dame their credit. They play and they've won their 2 playoff games. Like as much as I've been excited about the college playoff, I think next year they need to fix it. Like
they definitely need to fix it. Yeah.
All the bye teams lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just because you win your conference championship doesn't mean like you deserve a bye.
Yes, it does.
I
want it just like this.
I don't. I really don't. I
don't mind it, but I think they will change it because they'll look at it. And then I said it last Thursday. I was like, I tell you, if Boise and Arizona State and these bye teams lose, they're gonna be like, maybe we should.
That's the reason they should change it because. Here's the thing. I hate when they do that. Well, but they all lost. Okay, and how do we know next year they won't all win? You can't.
My thing is like, is Boise one of the top 4 teams in the country?
No.
So I don't think they deserve
at the time that it all went down when they got that bye. They were.
No,
yes, they were.
I feel like they got the bye because they won their conference championship.
They won the Mountain West. They were the highest ranked.
But at the time when Boise, bro, there was a point in this season when Boise State was steamrolling. You literally could say, "I'll put Boise State against anybody," and they'll give them a game. Now, the thing about the bye, I don't have a problem with the bye simply because you know what. There should be some kind of damn reward for winning your conference. It should be a reward.
Yeah, you get in.
You
get an automatic bid into the playoffs. That's about it. It shouldn't give you the bye too.
Why not? Clemson won the ACC, and their prize was getting into the playoff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but in reality, Clemson, if Clemson had won the ACC, they wouldn't even been in the tournament. Right,
so they got in. That was
that was your prize for winning your conference.
But I think the 4 best teams should get the bye.
Okay, so which means that it could be a Boise again who gets the bye.
Okay, I just think either Alabama messed it up for everybody because
Alabama wasn't that damn good.
That's what I mean. Everybody was screaming that Alabama should be in, and then they got embarrassed by Michigan.
And then Georgia got smoked by Notre Dame.
So I just feel like you got to use your common sense if you're the committee and just get the 12 best teams and get them.
See, that's why everybody's screaming about the bye because these SEC teams have been getting mollywopped.
Yeah,
that's what now there's a problem with the playoff because all the SEC teams are getting their ass whooped.
And you know what? I think
except for one.
Sir,
you're not
the SEC isn't the SEC no more. Like
you're a Big 12 team rebrand.
No, except for one.
Is a Big 12 team, not an SEC team.
Not the one team you think I'm talking about. Ole Miss.
But see, like the SEC,
Ole Miss would have got steamrolled. Are you kidding me?
Right, but that's what I mean. The SEC is not the same SEC because of NIL and the transfer portal. So,
because everybody can play everybody now. So
I don't care to see a bummy team get like Indiana get in and get.
Indiana wasn't a bummy team, man. They were a team that hadn't ever been in this situation. They weren't used to it.
There's a lot of teams that haven't been in that situation. A lot of teams haven't been in a 12-team playoff.
Indiana hasn't won that many games in almost 70 freaking years. Miss me with that. But I tell you what, next year, Indiana is going to get in again, and they're going to play better because now they know what it takes.
I hope so. But I mean, listen,
I
just feel like the committee has to figure out how to get the best games because
who are you going to tell me is better than Indiana to get in? Who would you have put in over Indiana?
No, I don't know. But I just feel like you're selling to the people the college playoff tournament, and the only good game you got the last week was Arizona State.
When it was the BCS, there were blowouts.
There were blowouts in the BCS. People forget that. Like there were blowouts. There were blowouts.
There's levels. There's levels to it. There's levels.
So in a 12-game thing, there's going to 68 game team NCAA tournament. There's blowouts in the first couple of rounds. In a 12-team tournament, there's gonna be some blowouts in the first couple of rounds. But after that, weren't the games really good? Yes, they were.
I hope so.
There hasn't been a good game outside of Texas, Arizona State yet.
I mean, did you watch the Rose Bowl? Did you watch the Rose Bowl?
I'm saying
that was
that was a blowout. What are you talking about?
34-0.
That was
the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl was not a good game. The Sugar Bowl had its moments, but again, it's like I felt like Notre Dame was never in jeopardy of losing that game. So it's like Penn State, Penn State jumped on Boise State, and again, it's like Texas and Arizona State was quote unquote the best game because
of the seeding. The seeding could have been better, all right? Because I don't think Boise State should. I think Boise State probably should have wound up playing Arizona State. That would have been a much better game than Boise and Penn State.
So let me ask you this question, Chandler. Let me ask you this. Does what you're saying lead to what Barry's saying, where you readjust who gets the first round bye and readjust the playoff positioning?
Yeah, because I don't want to get rid of the bye, but the positioning absolutely. Because to me, Boise State should have played Arizona State. You understand what I'm saying? That would have been a hell of a damn game.
I think you readjust.
You reseed. You reseed after the first round.
I don't think you treat it like the March Madness. I think you reseed, and I think the bye needs to be reserved for the best 4 teams.
If they had reseeded Boise, there's no way Boise State plays Penn State in that game.
No, not at all.
No.
Penn State gets a bye.
Yeah, Boise State problem to me was coaching. They just wanted to batter ram Gentry over and over with 10-man boxes. And they didn't come up with another game plan.
Because they were trying to get him the record instead of trying to win the game.
That's where we put 2 teams that aren't used to being in winning situations.
They didn't have a counter. They didn't have a counter. We knew they was going to come out and try to rush Gentry. So
they still kept doing it. No matter what they were doing. Penn State said, you know what, fuck it. We'll just stay in a 12-man box and y'all just keep running Gentry at us. And they kept doing it.
Because honestly, they never Colorado had got in. I think Colorado would have won at least one game.
Dude, I'm being for real, dude. If Boise State would have ran 2 play action passes, they probably would have been wide open for bombs.
They're going to still be running.
Yeah, because Penn State really had damn near everybody within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, bro. I have no problem with the bye because I look at the bye this way, right? Some people like, oh, they was off too long. Well, hell, I'm more rested than you. You've been getting your ass whooped. Yeah. If I'm a coach and I'm a good coach, I'm gonna keep my team ready. I'm not giving them all these day offs. I'm gonna have them play some hard practices. So then that way we've been practicing hard. Yeah, you just come off a really tough game. You may be still sore, still recuperating from the game before me, but my team gonna be ready. So I have no problem with the bye because the team before them, they may be more in game shape, but we're more rested. You're not gonna win either way.
It's coaching because I told y'all at the beginning of the Tennessee Ohio State game, I said if in the first 5 plays they just pass, they're gonna lose the game. And what they do, the first 5 plays of Tennessee, there were 4 passes. You knew your offensive line couldn't hold up. So instead of running the ball like you had all season, You kept dropping them back in 5 and 7 step drops. And what happened? They got their ass whooped. So coaching and a lack of experience in big games, not for nothing, or just poor coaching, played a lot into some of these blowouts. Because
we talked about it earlier. What coaches who don't want to like adjust. Hypo was like, "This is the game plan. I don't give a fuck what happens. This is the game plan. Go out, Nico, go out there and do this. We're not going to adjust." And Ohio State cracked their head up.
Yeah, so but you got there by running, and then you get there. Now you want to pass.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Anyways, gentlemen, with that being said, let's get on. Get out.
I want to say this right quick, right? Okay. This is just my thing when I go into these games, right? I'm always a fan of momentum, and I know we talked hella shit about Notre Dame when they lost that game. Man, you may not like this, but Notre Dame has had some hell of a momentum ever since then. We talked hella shit about Ryan Day and Ohio State, and Steve, don't get mad at me, but Ohio State has been buzzsawing boys since they lost to Michigan, bro.
But they lost to Michigan though.
Momentum is big, man. Texas been a little shaky. I actually think we're gonna probably know with a Notre Dame and Ohio State final. Them two teams.
It's very possible. It's very possible.
They've been on some crazy momentum, and they've been giving the woodshed to some boys.
Oh yeah.
The best thing that happened to them was losing to Northern Illinois.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and Ryan Day, hey, his job is on the line. He was like, "Man, fuck that. We about to start boat racing, boys."
Well, it's not even that. It's like Ryan Day even said it. It's like it's still the same guys. It's still the same team. You know, it's just they had to hold the mirror up to themselves and like, okay, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get a second shot at this because honestly, the way we played against Michigan, we don't deserve to be in the playoff. Right. So we getting the second chance to get this thing right. And like I said, we had Ryan Day good as gone, and what he has done, been able to get that thing back on the right track has been great. So big up.
Convincing. Somebody in the room must have said we got 98 5-star recruits over here and 2 4-stars and 1 dude that was 3-star. Like, we got the talent over here. Somebody must have said that. Like, we need to use our talent. I mean, you know,
sit down, be humble, because that Michigan game humbled them, and they've come to play the first 2 games. So
we'll see.
With that being said, gentlemen, I'm gonna get you guys out of here, man. We are way past, and we had a.
I got one more thing. No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
Hey, we've been gone a couple of weeks. We might need to do an extended show just to see.
You ain't doing no extended show with me. I'll be gone.
So, you know what, Coach, man, you know, man, give me a plug and hold up. You shut it down, big homie.
All right, man. Like, once again, another successful ballroom meeting. Glad to have the band all back together. I'll say this, guys. Look, we say this and we mean this. Like, if you see the link, share the link. It is not just something catchy that we say because it sounds cute. It's like, if you see the link, share the link. That's for the ballroom meeting. That's for the wrestling shows. That's for the little clips and stuff like that we grab from the show. You see that, share that. Okay, so I'm gonna be a little bit more forceful when I say it. Okay, you see that, share that. It's simple as that, guys. So it's like, just help us out. We'll appreciate it. Everybody here at the boardroom, like, just help some brothers out. So that, all that being said, God is good
all the time.
Make sure to drink your water. Stay hydrated, even when it's cold outside. Make sure you staying hydrated. You can get dehydrated in the wintertime, and of course, get them dubs up. Everybody get them dubs up. Wu-Tang is for the children. Peace.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir, man. Good to see Coach back in the building, man. CK, you know what to do, my guy. Give me a plug in the closeout as we get it down, sir.
Well, you know, the holidays are going, so I'm feeling a little better. I actually watched the Ranger game tonight. I haven't watched the Ranger game all year.
We need to talk about the Rangers.
Yeah, we do.
Ovechkin.
But had a lot of fun tonight, man, and the hell was I getting ready to say? Oh, there's a movie on Hulu with John Boyega in it and Michael K. Williams. It's called Breaking. It's actually based on a true story about a veteran who tries to rob a bank. It's a lot of things going on, but I recommend it's a really good watch. It's a really good watch. I can't watch it personally because it makes me cry, but it's a really good watch. Other than that, man, it's been a lot of fun. Wintertime, be safe. Nobody slip and fall like I did.
Charge your batteries, please.
Yeah.
Life alert.
Wear your life alert. Option 988, 22 veterans commit suicide a day. It's a new
Yes,
year.
sir.
Let's get that number down. You know, it's about choosing life and just understanding the fact that, you know what, ups and downs is gonna happen. Life is not linear. Some of the best moments and best growth will come in the darkest hours. So just keep moving, keep pushing. You know, keep getting Barry to tell you about all of the blue chews and whatever the hell else is going on. And that's all I got, y'all.
Well, young.
Man. Hey, you know what? Be married, be happy, my guy. Larry, talk to me, my guy. Give me a plug and shut it down, big dog.
Oh man, all I was thinking about was Chandler. I was about to say, man, I've fallen and I can't get up. We gonna get that man a life alert, man. We have to get, one that pages all of us. We got to go back to the old day and get that life alert for him. But glad CK was able to join, coach in the building. We got Barry from his fake sickness hiatus. He was just giant sick, man. We already know, man. We know it was more emotional than it was physical.
Serious. You heard me on the phone? How did I sound?
He sounded like death. I ain't gonna
Did he sound like death, or did he sound like one of them fake? I can't make it to work today.
He played it up pretty good. I ain't gonna hold you. He played it up pretty good.
But nah, man, it's always good, man, having everybody back in the house, man. Like I say, I know we all talk about a lot of different things, and like Aaron always say, man, we cook. Yeah, so today we was cooking, man. We cooked for over an hour and a half, because it was something that was passionate to us. I'll repeat what Coach say. If you see the show, share the show, man. We're gonna keep working on some things. Aaron got the Rockets on, man. Launch pad coming. I gotta get that plug out there because we're not on a lot of these subset shows like everybody else is. The executives is on Tuesday, but we got a lot of subset shows. We got Barry does his Giants. Aaron was on last night with his pops on Steelers. And I was late, but I jumped in there on him. So yeah, y'all just don't think that we just do the executives. We got a lot more content coming, a lot of more things coming down the pipe work. But with that being said, bro, I'm out, man. Y'all take it easy.
Appreciate you, Larry, man. Thanks for coming by, kicking with us, my dude. Barry, make this so you can go upstairs and not get in trouble with your wife, man. Get us out of here.
Listen, I love doing the show with you guys. Shout out to Chandler, Coach, LG, Sirius. I love you, Sirius. I love doing the show with you guys. I love doing the wrestling show, man. It's so much fun, man. We got a lot of people that come in. It gets a lot of good feedback, a lot of views. So, we'll keep doing it as long as you guys want us to do it. We'll keep pumping it out. So, like you said, there's a lot of shows out there, a lot of content. We got the Instagram channel up and popping. So we're all over the place, man. Support. We love the support and keep listening to us. But until the next one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. It's your boy Sirius repping that 412 and the 703, man. It's such a privilege and a pleasure to be with you guys here on another edition of the Executives View, man. I mean this with my whole chest, man. It's really about the community that we have built here between Chandler and Larry, Villain, Coach, man, my buddies over at Nonsense and Deep Thoughts, man, my man Aaron and Corey, my man Jared helping me out, man, my dad popping over, doing a show with me consistently, my homeboy Nick and Miggs and my uncle. I mean, it's just a whole group of people that are putting their hand in the pile and helping us push this thing forward, man. And there's room for more. If you want to be a part of it, man, get in contact with me and Barry. Let us know. We can probably work you in, where you fit in, man. I love doing this, man. With that being said, catch us on the next one when we'll be back in the building on Tuesday. Shout out to my wife. Tomorrow is her birthday. So there will not be a launch pad tomorrow. I will be attempting to celebrate the birthday with the wife. Happy house, happy life, all that fun stuff, man. With that being said, God bless. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.